Whatever was supposed to be said.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I got to make sure you're on. All right. Hit it.
All right. The Serenity Prayer's origin points to American theologian Reynold Neuber, who wrote it around 1932/1943, but it gained massive popularity after being adopted by Alcoholics Anonymous. Now, one of the key points was that it was taken from, so the Alcoholics Anonymous in 1940s, who found it in an obituary, leading to widely spread and attributing its fame to AA's 12-step recovery program from addiction.
Nice.
But it was founded in an obituary and then adopted by AA.
That's a God thing. Now, can we read it? Can you read the real thing? Do you have it?
Is it on there?
Is it on there?
It's in our book.
No. The whole thing.
I know.
The real one's not in our book.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Let's see if I have it.
The abbreviated one is in our book.
I thought the whole one was in the back.
No, it is not.
I have seen it. I've read that somewhere
I don't
before.
have that pulled up here.
We'll get it pulled up. So that's where Katie comes in. Katie,
Our producer, Katie, she's going to find it.
Did you find the full one? Because
Wife, producer, CFO, CEO.
The looks, the brains, everything.
Well, that's normally how it goes.
Yeah.
The woman is always the backbone.
That's right. Let's pray and we'll go, and then we'll get started. Heavenly Father, we thank you for today. Father, we thank you for bringing Ashley to us. Father, we ask that you lay hands on her, Father, and you give her ease and you give her peace while she tells her story. Father, let somebody hear her story and be saved and come into the rooms of AA or Alcoholics Anonymous and NA and get saved from this miserable disease that we carry. Father, we ask that one person come to you. Father, we ask that you sit with Rob and I as we work through this and get the best story that we can for our listeners. Father, we pray all this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Let's go to work. What? Go ahead, drink, Robert. Go ahead and drink, Robert. You know, I still haven't got. You like that?
I do like that.
I still have not got this video thing straightened out.
Well, I watched it on Instagram.
You did?
Yeah.
You watched it on Instagram. You were able to watch it on Instagram?
Yeah.
Like the whole thing?
No, hold on, Dad.
You got it on Spotify.
Spotify, that's right. I had to download Spotify. Watched it.
Yeah. So I was not able to get it over onto YouTube.
Yeah, that's
I will figure it out, right? I'm learning. I'm learning all this as I go along. Sorry, I woke up sick and I'm still struggling a little bit.
Now you tell us.
Look, see, that is Ashley right there. That is Ashley. Yeah.
Me up already.
I know. So I woke up sick yesterday. Then we went to a Christmas party last night. So I'm still struggling.
Speaking of Christmas parties, we won a half a beef.
Who's we?
My wife.
Who's we?
My wife and I.
Well, make sure
My wife and I won a half a beef. Well,
otherwise, I'm gonna get a quarter of it in my garage if you say we one more time with just you and me.
My wife and I won a half a beef.
Yeah.
We won half a pig last year.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you get it through work?
Uh-huh.
Or? Oh, nice.
It's okay. I have a full deer in my freezer.
That's nice too.
Yeah.
Venison for all you people that don't know any better.
That's
I'm sorry. Venison for you uppity-uppities. It's just deer meat to us.
Deer meat.
Just deer meat, right? So we have a lovely lady here by the name of Ashley. Ashley came to us from Stephanie, who Stephanie has got. She's got an amazing story.
She's kicking ass right now, too.
She's amazing. She actually called me. She called Rob and I here just a while back, and she's got another part to her story, and I'm sure she's told you, Ashley, that I cannot wait to get her back here. I don't want to ruin it. Because she is, it literally gave me goosebumps when she sent it.
There's got to be a way we can hint around to it. What do you call, like, to be able to wet their whistle a little bit, so they can like a preview. How do you know, like a part two? They got to kind of know what's coming, but not fully.
Well, I could.
Isn't it about maybe that person making an amend to her as well?
Right.
Like an amend was made to her.
Right.
Amends was made to her from part of her story that
Right.
she kept locked away for a long time.
That
Yeah.
you can't even imagine. And
It is.
And that person's 9 years sober. You know that.
And
That's gonna be good.
And that person's coming on.
Yeah.
We got some amazing stuff getting ready to happen. So today we're gonna get Ashley's story, then we're gonna try and get a topic with you as well. Right? We're gonna do that. I do also want to bring up that we had our first men's meeting in Escalon on this last Saturday that Brandon took over, and my gosh, that is so awesome. And I mean,
That's one of the best meetings we've been to in a long time.
Oh my gosh, Rob, that's the first time I've stayed around for the Lord's
there's
Prayer.
15 of us, 8 of us, or nine of us were us. And then there were six of us were, we do, well, guys we know, but Three of us, three guys were crying. It was powerful. It was a
When
good one.
Rob says us, it's our Oakdale group
Yeah,
that we all hang around with.
that kind of got this started.
That's
We-
your,
Right.
that's
we
your
had said a
Monday
prayer.
night
I said a prayer on this podcast,
Mhm.
and then Brandon heard it and said, and he took action, and we started up a legit Saturday morning men's meeting that's not at 9 a.m., 7 to 8.
It's an actual AA sanctioned meeting.
the
It's
real
not,
deal.
It's the real deal, right? So we are excited about that. I'm so proud of Brandon. If you go back and list a couple of his stories, and you can see his trajectory of how he's grown in his service in AA. It's
And then
it's
once he
incredible.
crossed that year,
Mhm.
once he made a year, because he was,
yeah.
now it's just he's on fire.
Yeah, and it's so fun. It was so fun to see him up there running that show yesterday. So it was awesome. So, anyways, we are going to bring Ashley in, and we are going to listen to her story, and we're going to walk around it a little bit. So Rob and I will bounce in and out of it. If we distract you, tell us to shut the fuck up, and we'll shut up. Katie tends to jump in a little bit too, because she brings over.
She has better questions.
She's
to be
got
honest.
she's got the more intelligence between the two of us, so she'll probably jump in a little bit.
Are you an alcoholic? Are you alcoholic? And what's your drug of choice? What's your alcohol?
Meth was my drug of
Come
choice.
on, this is gonna be a good one for me.
Meth was a drug of choice, but alcohol was my first.
Oh, yeah.
As well as, shoes, shopping.
Kinda
Cigarettes
girl.
was my first addiction. Cigarettes, I was super young. Forced myself in a disgusting way how to smoke.
Let's go. Let's get into that.
Yeah.
So where did we grow up at?
Santa Rosa.
Okay.
Born and raised. I come from two addictive parents, both in active addiction when I was born.
Still, or
Mom has 30 something years sober.
Nice.
Dad is still in the game, unfortunately, but he's dying. He's literally dying.
Of?
Cancer. He has no more voice box.
Well, I had that. I had stage 4 squamous cell carcinoma when I lived over.
Well, he speaks with a
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
actuator. Yeah. He's lost all of his teeth. He went from this to just withered. I mean, and that's scary for me, because that comes from my bloodline. That's something I could turn into if I didn't get help.
Oh,
So,
for sure.
yeah, I found that out in treatment, actually, that he was sick. And I wasn't scared. And it was like my last week there. I wasn't scared until I found that out. And then I was just bawling, terrified about leaving that place, because I knew what I could become if I didn't make this work.
And
Hey, that's a good thing, though. That's a good. I mean, I don't believe in healthy fears, but that's.
But you also had sobriety, and you were feeling that at that point, right? I mean, you said your last week of your treatment center, so you had to feel all that without any help from any kind of substance or anything else as well.
Correct. Yeah. It's terrifying to think that if you didn't make this work, that's what you can become.
Oh yeah.
And but I mean, I had my mom, who's a great supporter of me. We grew up in recovery after 8 years old. She got sober when I was 8.
So you got to see that.
I did get to see how it works. Unfortunately, I never watched or listened. I just kind of participated, which I wish I wouldn't have. Would have been a little bit easier.
What do you mean by that?
You can't learn someone else's lessons.
No, you're
No.
right. You're right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And as much as I had been involved in it as a kid, seeing how it works, seeing what we went from to what my mom became, you never know until you walk the life of addiction yourself. And unfortunately, I'm super stubborn, so I had to figure it out the hard
Well, I
way.
always said that's not going to happen to me. That happened to you,
Yeah.
but that won't happen to me. This is how I'll outsmart the game. I didn't.
I'm
No.
better than that.
Yeah.
I'm better than that.
And most people say that. Most people are like, "Oh, I seen what my parents went through, or this family member went through." I'm never going to go down that road until you're down that road, looking at it.
Yeah, and that's a hard one to look back on in a mirror, right? You're like, how did I get here, right? And I got some stuff we're going to talk about. Interesting. Literally, one of my topics in the next episode is to talk about that. So,
Hey, I got one more thing
trajectories.
that's got nothing to do with nothing. But at the Christmas party, there's two
How
guys.
handsome I am.
There's two guys that work for us that I sponsor. All three of us won something. How about that? God's
It's
gift.
only because you sponsor them.
No, it's just because of God, but no. Or just the luck of the pool. No
So
matter.
it's not how handsome I am.
No.
Damn
Fuck
it.
no.
Damn it, Robert. Anyways,
Okay,
back to
maybe
Ashley.
next time. Maybe
Santa
back to
Rosa.
Ashley.
So how was childhood? Okay, so when did you start dabbling?
So let me start from the beginning.
Yep.
Mom and dad are using. We had what kind of turned things around for me as a child was my mom had been dating this guy. Dad was in and out of prison, been a drug dealer, police always raiding our houses. That's
Wow.
one of my very first memories is sitting on the stairs watching the cops just raid our house, you know, tearing it apart.
How old were you?
6, 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a memory.
Yeah.
Wow.
So my mom had been dating this guy who pretty much was really abusive. At this point in time, I had a little brother who was 2 years younger than me. And then I had a little sister, Audrey, who was 8 years younger than me. She was 2. She wouldn't take a nap. He was, you know, blaring the music, drinking, using, God only knows. At that age, I have no idea.
All right.
But so he wraps her up in a blanket. Well, he has me and my little brother on the opposite side of the fence. He's out in the backyard spraying down the deck. And he has us like digging out this ditch. And it's like drizzle, raining, winter time. Anyways, my little sister wouldn't stay in bed. So he brought her downstairs, put her on the porch, and we could only hear her crying. And you could tell through the little holes in the fence that he's like spraying her. And I mean, I'm literally 6, 7 years old trying to get up over this fence to save her because she's just bloody murder.
Spraying just water?
Yes, but it's the middle of winter.
Right.
She's not
right.
wearing any clothes. And so I start running back around the front of the house, and this is a big, long court. And by the time I got to her, she was purple.
Oh.
She wasn't breathing. So I picked her up, tried to, you know, I'm so young. You don't know what to do in
no,
that moment. You're just
no.
shell shocked. You're like, oh my God, my little
Right.
sister's not breathing. But well, he had wrapped her up in a blanket so tight that her circulation was cut off to her brain. And so, you know, here she is too. I'm holding her. My mom comes home. It was basically just a really traumatic experience.
Oh, yes.
That's where it started.
Absolutely.
Needless to say, she went to the emergency room, and of course, you know, Child Protective
I was
Services
say,
was called.
please tell me he went to jail.
Did she survive?
She did survive. Unfortunately, she will never be able to have a life like us. She does have severe brain damage. She's 33 now. She's the light of my life. You know, it's actually quite a gift because she'll never feel what we feel.
Right.
Not saying that it was okay what happened to her in any type of way, but if you don't look at it like that, it'll eat at you.
Oh, yeah.
She has seizures multiple times a day. Her eye is completely to one side. She's in a special program. It's an amazing program.
She local for you? She's close to you?
It's in Santa Rosa.
Okay.
Yeah, in Santa Rosa. It's North Bay Regional Center. They work with special needs children. She'll never have her own house. She'll never be able to live alone. She'll never tie her own shoes. You know, she's completely dependent. But she's such an angel.
Right.
She has a boyfriend. He's 13 years old.
That's
His
so
name
funny.
is Nick. You know, but it's just that genuine, pure soul.
Absolutely.
So that's where my trauma
Right.
started. That's when we were taken from my mom, brought to Valley of the Moon. It was a children's home,
Okay.
kind of like a group home. Me and my brother went there. My other sister, Audrey, the one that was hurt, was taken to San Francisco Children's Hospital, where she stayed until, you know, surgeries,
Yeah.
whatever. So me and my little brother, we stayed at this Valley of the Moon place for 8.5 months while my mom jumped through the fire rings and hoops of the court system to get us back.
Trying
Of
to
course-
get you guys back.
Right. For a brief moment,
She was still in her addiction at that time, though, too.
when this happened to my sister, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, she was. So yeah, she was in her addiction. She jumps through all these rings, gets sober. We go to live with my dad after Valley of the Moon for maybe like 8 months. When she's done doing all that, we come home to live with her. And she's sober now. Gets involved in NA. You know, that's where my life kind of turned from, okay, traumatic to this is a wonderful life. You know, she ended up meeting my stepdad.
Okay.
And my stepdad, I hated him. I wanted him to die. I didn't want anything to do with him. Why? Because he was just not my dad.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I was that typical young little girl,
Right.
just, you are not my dad. So I didn't want anything to do with him.
And where was your dad at that period of time?
Who knows?
Okay. So you,
Prison, probably.
right. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was in prison most of my life.
Okay.
In and out, selling drugs,
Right.
doing the most. Later on in life, he definitely set the tone for what my life would become because I became more like him.
Right.
But yeah, Do you have any other questions on that?
No, this may just be my clarification. I missed something. The guy that was spraying her, that wasn't your dad. What happened to that prick? Please tell me something bad.
He did go to jail. I asked my mom, she had run into him recently. So this is 20 plus years later. She runs into him at the DMV where she works.
Talk about a resentment. Come on.
Right. And I asked her, I said, well, what did you say to him? And she says, I told him I forgive him.
Oh.
And I was like, the fuck you do? I said, what did you can't forgive him. He goes, well, what kind of life would I be living right now if I could?
Oh, amen.
Yeah.
You know,
Amen.
Carry that poison.
Absolutely. And what good would it do for my sister
Nothing.
or for
Nothing.
us? You know, I mean, I still hope that guy ends up 10 feet deep.
Oh, for sure.
I can't believe he isn't already, you know, but what she said to me, which kind of threw me way out, was that every time she said that he sees her, he breaks down and starts crying, saying, He does.
Wow.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I hope so.
Yeah.
You know, you deserve to feel that pain. And it's kind of a twist too, because it's hard to look at it like, you know, fuck that guy, because my sister's so amazing. Even though she wasn't given the life that she should have had, she's so innocently pure, and she is so happy that it's hard not to just go, you know what, this is what God's plan was for her.
Yeah.
And otherwise you will hold that resentment, which
is poison for us.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of work to get to where that right there.
Well, every time she has a seizure, I panic. You know, I go right back to that little broken girl who found her, who wasn't breathing. And I found that out recently. She had come to stay the night with me, and I hadn't been around her for years, right? I had been ripping and running. And when I got sober, I went to have her come stay the night with me. Her and my mom came over, and she had a seizure for the first time. And I just ran in there, came back out, and I was sitting in my bed, and I just started bawling. You know, my boyfriend's like, what the hell's wrong with you? And I'm like, I realized how much I haven't worked through this. Like, this is, you know, it brings you right back to that 6-year-old little girl. So
I'm sure it did.
It absolutely did.
That's the right use of trigger. That right there is the right use of trigger. For sure.
I slapped the shit out of my sister. Well, he knows my sister.
She deserved it, probably. Sorry,
when
Tammy, I love you.
Well, she has epilepsy. She would have, petite malls and grand malls. And I didn't know how to handle it. So I knew you weren't supposed to bite her tongue. And one time she was in the shower having one. I smacked it. She came out of it, and that felt good. Not at the
What a horrible thing. You just actually slapped her.
She listens to this.
Oh, okay.
Trust me, she's right now on her way from Montana to here to knock the shit out of you for just telling that
story. She's staying with us over Christmas, so we should probably get her on.
Yeah, you should probably put a headset on before she shows up, because she's gonna beat you up.
I smacked the shit out of her. Good times.
I love his sister.
Well,
awesome.
I haven't slapped my sister out of a seizure, and I probably won't ever do that. I'm not even going to think about it because that might be tempting. But no, she has not convulsing seizures, but more like she'll just
lock up,
start spinning circles, and then she'll come to, and she'll be out of it for a little while, and then she's right back to normal.
Yeah, Katie's brother has seizures too. The first time I ever witnessed a seizure was him, and I was in the living room, and he starts having a seizure in the bath, same like that. And I'm like, I was just him and I there at the house. I'm like, I have no idea what to do right now. It's a crazy thing to see and to witness if you've never done it. I mean, it's just, it'll freeze you. You don't know what to do. Slap them.
Well, thank God I don't hang around alcoholics anymore, because some of those people have seizures too.
Right.
You know?
Oh yeah.
The last thing I want to do is slap them though.
Well, that's Rob's logic.
Yeah. Well,
that is a Rob Don logic right there. Rob's got some pretty good logic, but that one is not suggested for anyone.
Works,
yeah,
baby.
I'd probably definitely
But
I wouldn't recommend that.
If Mama didn't have any program, she wouldn't be forgiving. So that's an amazing.
Correct. And at first I was angry with her for that. Like, how could you not? I was like, what the fuck?
Oh no!
I was like, how could you say sorry?
Right.
Or how could you, say you forgive this man?
Absolutely.
I would.
No.
You know what? I don't know what I would feel if I saw him. I honestly, who knows what in those moments you actually think or do.
Mm-hmm.
But
when she said that, it makes sense. What kind of peace
we would hope God's grace would prevail.
Absolutely.
I would.
Yeah.
I know what I'd like to say and think, but I would hope God would take over.
And I think my mom lives with such a... I'm sure that it eats my mom alive every day. And I think that's the only peace that she can find with that is forgiving him. And when she passes, she'll come to live with me, my brother, or my sister. So who who really knows what we'll do in those moments. But I have to say, more power to her for that.
Well, the resentment, I was sure, was there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
He's definitely on my resentments. But I think I've come to a peace with it as well.
And that's fine.
No,
that's awesome.
That's freedom.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Freedom, for sure.
I wouldn't say that I had in my addiction found peace in that.
Okay.
I don't
Hell
think I
no.
had peace in anything in my addiction at
Right.
all. Everything was everyone else's fault, and I was owed something.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so I think it wasn't until I got sober that I realized that,
And how long have you been sober?
today is my 1 year, 1 month.
Right. I was waiting for her to bring that up. I thought today was actually going to be your 1 year.
No,
Okay.
it's 1 year, 1 month,
Okay.
which is even better
Right.
because it's longer than a
Right.
year.
Well,
Yeah.
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 You've broken through.
Yeah.
broken
November 7th of last year, I went into treatment.
Got that heavy metal now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. So talk to us leading up to that recovery. Was that your first run at recovery?
That was my first, I want to do this for me.
Atta girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
When did it start? When did we get into the good stuff? Powder
Robert,
accelerant.
damn it.
Try
Will
to-
you stop getting
He's trying
so...
to skip to the end, and you're
No.
trying to hear the dirt.
Yeah, what?
He is a meth head.
No,
He
I'm not.
is a... Yes, you
No, I'm not.
are.
It's just fun.
You are a meth head, and you love to hear that. You love to hear that shit.
Well,
You
because we
are-
live some crazy fucking
Oh, my
lives
God.
in that lifestyle.
Stories
The,
are crazy.
the stories that he comes up with are amazing, but he gets so excited about the powder
can you
accelerant.
imagine this?
No,
Oh, yeah.
no, I
Yeah.
couldn't. Well, I,
wouldn't
do.
want to see him on meth.
Oh, trust me, I know all the
Hey.
guys he ran around with, and they
It just
don't.
calmed you down.
They didn't. I was gonna say,
Calmed you down.
Yeah. I'm like the duck on the pond. It's smooth, but his little feet are going.
That is the
Description
best
of Rob.
his the group of guys he ran around with didn't need meth.
One of them
trust
just
me.
died.
Yeah,
We just went to his funeral.
Oh.
So, but,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
he was up hunting. He wasn't going to stop. And he died of a heart attack,
Go figure.
deer hunting, just like you'd want to Leo. God
Right.
bless him. Didn't stop running. 52. So
so tell us leading up.
Okay.
Good
so,
Wait, I do have a question.
yes.
How, being your sister is your biological with the same dad, same parents, right?
Yes.
How did your dad handle what happened to his
great
daughter?
question.
My dad was in prison.
Uh,
He had no right to feel anything, really, because really that never would have happened if he had been around.
right.
So on my dad's side, I have 9 brothers and sisters, and on my mom's side, I have 4, and I'm the oldest. Unfortunately, I had an older sister pass away, so there was 12 of us.
Wow.
He has
Yeah.
all girls, 2 boys, and he isn't a dad to any of them.
Wow.
Never has been, never will be.
What a miserable existence.
And they're all beautiful, amazing, just awesome people. And
In spite of him.
yes, and their mothers are great. There's, I think, let's see, my mom, Sharon. Yeah, there's about 4 baby moms. So with my immediate mom and dad, I have, I'm the oldest, and then I have my brother and 2 other sisters, Audrey and Macy. And Macy is from my stepdad that I got into a little bit earlier.
But Audrey's the one that had.
And Audrey's the one that had,
Okay.
yeah, the brain damage, yeah.
Mm.
So it all started with this stepdad. I was a full ride athlete. I played soccer for 10 years, 6 hours a day. I breathed soccer. Sophomore year, I got into a fight with some girl, lost my scholarship. I mean, I had scouts at every game, but I beat her up really bad. Around that same time,
This is high school.
this is high school. Around that same time, stepdad starts using again. Mom doesn't know. I have no idea, but weird things start happening. Like I got out of the shower one day and there's a camera in my bedroom and I follow this little cord and I'm like, what the fuck? And so I follow this camera and I go down to the garage where he's at because I knew he just got all these little camera systems. Like he starts doing all the weird stuff that meth people
Tweakers.
tweakers do.
Tweaking.
The little drill hole in the garage door,
Just messing around.
just messing around.
Messing around.
But in a sick, twisted way. Here's this dad I've known for 10 years. I've called him dad. He's the only dad I've ever really had. I went from hating him to loving him. He was at every soccer game, doing the most. So I go down to the garage and he's jacking off to the camera.
Mm.
Now I am 13 years old and he says to me, you should really shave that.
I
And
want
Now, mind you, at this point, I have no fucking idea what's going on because
Right.
I'm like shell shocked, right? So I kind of just like close my eyes and ears and I just run away. Well, then he starts like, doing other weird shit, like giving me this little camera to take with me if I'm going out to hang out with my friends. Or he's like, hey, take some pictures of your friends for me. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, practice, because I'm in photography. I have been my whole life.
Okay.
So he's like using.
Thanks for that backstory because I was okay.
Right. No, I'm not going to be like, okay, no problem. Be right home, But yeah, so I'm really into photography. First camera was a Barbie digital camera.
Nice.
So second to last day of my sophomore year, he pulls me out of school and he's like, hey, I need some help cleaning the house. Now, mind you, weird shit's been happening.
Oh, God.
And he gets me home and he's like, so I know you're like experimenting at parties and stuff. He's like, you ever tried Coke? And I was like, is this a trick question? Like, are you trying to get, I didn't know that he was on drugs yet. I still just thought he was being a fucking weirdo. So he pulls out this like light bulb and he's like, just try it, just smoke it. And I'm like, cause now at this point I'd been partying, going to parties, high school parties.
Had
trying
you
stuff.
seen cocaine yet?
I had never, I'd never partaken.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it wasn't anything.
You knew what he was.
I knew where he was going with this, but
Right.
I didn't know what meth was.
Okay. A little different.
Right.
Yeah.
So
much better.
He gets me high.
Hold on a second. Meth ain't better than cocaine.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's cheaper.
Yeah, it's better. And it lasts longer.
You
You get
I never liked Coke.
better bang for your buck. You get I could do a big fat thing of glass. I'm good for the day. I don't
I'm
have
so
to do a
glad
whole,
I don't have to live like that anymore.
I don't have to. Yeah, we're good.
Don't have to
We're
live
good.
like- yeah.
I never smoked it either. Or shot. I just like the burn, like the drain, like the
Oh
blow the
my
back of my
gosh, this is going the wrong direction,
Stop.
Rob Don.
Okay, so needless to say, I've never stuck a needle
Right.
in my arm.
Beautiful.
That is
Good.
one of my yets, thank God, because I know where I would have went with it.
Right.
Anyway, so he gets me high. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like my dad's going to be cooler with me. He's going to be letting me go to more parties. I'm not going to be so much under the thumb because he was strict. Like he was a very strict dad, right? Yeah. So I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. So I go and I tell my friends, he's like, okay, go take some of this with you and go to the river with your friends, right? So my friends pick me up. We go to the river and I'm like, you guys want to try what my dad gave me, you know? So we all do these little lines of crank, I guess you could call it back then.
Yeah.
And so they're like, yeah, this isn't really our thing, And so at the time I start dating this guy. He's like, I've known him since kindergarten. He was kind of like that geek that never left me alone. And finally my mom's like, hey, date this guy. He really cares about you. And I'm like, okay, I'll try it. Well,
that's why Katie started dating me.
I don't know what she was thinking.
I was that little geek. Anyway, sorry.
So
Far from it.
fast forward a little bit. It was like one of those, okay, cool, we tried it. Let's not do this anymore.
Right.
But everybody was like, what do you mean your dad gave this to you? Because they all knew how strict he was, right? So now it's like this thing. Well, we have this other friend that does it too, but he does it all the time. We called him Gerpy. And he was best friends with my boyfriend I start dating at the time.
The nerd,
right? And so we start hanging out with that friend Gerpy more. And so we're doing this like weekend thing where we're going to do this drug on the weekends, right? Well, those weekends turned into days and those days turned into weeks. And before you know it, that thing's got a hold of you.
Oh, yeah.
You know
this is your sophomore year.
This is coming out of my sophomore year, yep.
Yeah.
So back at home, things are going, just irate. We end up going on a family vacation to Disneyland. I catch my uncle, who is in the program, using meth with my dad in the bathroom. And they pull me in there and they're like, you want some? I'm like, I'm just trying to go to the bathroom. Like, this is so fucking weird. Like, we're going from this really tight-knit, fun family. Everybody's doing barbecues. We're just lots of friends. My mom's recovery friends, and here are these two in the bathroom at Disneyland using drugs.
Happiest place on earth, baby. Why not?
So we get home and there's this voicemail on the answer machine and it's from this lady named Robin. And I don't know why I still remember her name, but that was like the end of our family. That's when, he had been telling me stories of this lady that he was seeing behind my mom's back. And here I don't,
why would he be telling you this shit?
Because he got really sick.
Wow.
He got really sick. And what's fucked up is, so him and my mom finds out he's using, make a long story short, they get separated. He goes crazy. He's like stalking us, doing all the weird shit. You know, me and my mom and my brothers and sisters all leave. He's stalking their houses. But what's fucked up is that later on in my life, when I start using every day, and I'm just on my own now, because shortly after I left the house, I was probably 15. I was 15, and I left the house for good. My mom, so I tried telling her, and she didn't believe me.
That about your stepfather?
Yeah, I tried
Did
telling
she
her.
believe you after it happened? After everything came out, did she goes, oh, did she?
Not for a while.
Okay.
It took many attempts for me to tell her what he was doing to me. Because it ended up escalating into more sick, twisted things that he would do that, you know, we don't need to talk about. Right. But, you know, when I'd come to her and I told her the first time, shit was hitting the fan. And so she was so overwhelmed. Like, what am I going to do? My family's falling apart. So she was like, Ashley, quit trying to get attention.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know, and she just thought because I was starting to act out.
Right.
You know, now I'm coming home stoned every day and she's opening my door and I'm just fucking, you know, eyes bloodshot. I'm just tearing myself apart already. I was walking the path, you know, and she's helpless to that. So fast forward a little bit, I try to tell her again. And we end up getting into like this fist fight. And she's like, you know, her whole life's an uproar. And I look back at it now going, you know, God damn it. Like, I get it. Right. I get where she was at. And I understand because I ended up walking in the same situation later on in life where I was like, there's no fucking way. But I had to believe my sister.
She was 3 or 4 years sober, 4 or 5 years sober when all that started going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, you know,
more than, because if she got sober when she was 8, this is 15.
Right.
So I'm talking 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah, 7 years.
7
you know,
years.
and then we had a great family,
Right.
a great recovery family. All of her friends were in the program. You know, we did, like I said, barbecues on the week. It was a great, tight knit, happiest time of our entire lives as in my childhood. That was the awesomest time of my life.
Well, you got good and bad memories then.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and so, you know, the stepdad, he taught me a lot too. You know what I mean? He is dead. He did pass away.
Of the disease?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. He overdosed and died just recently. Well, a couple years back, but that's what happens.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I ended up running into girls later on in my life that had told me, you know, oh, we're sitting there sharing our sob stories. And they're like, oh, you know, I got shot full of dope and raped the first time. And I'm like, oh, really? Who? And she's like, do you know Matt Nope? And I'm like, that's my stepdad. That's who I was just talking about. And she's like, shut up. And I'm like, he did that to you? And, you know, more and more girls started coming out over the years.
These were your girlfriends?
This is a girl I met randomly
wow.
at a trap house.
Wow.
Using drugs all night, and we're just sitting there.
Trap house?
Trap house? You know, like a drug house, like where you go and you get high, and tons of people come in and out, and
Okay.
you know, just
I just never heard the term.
Mm-hmm.
Rob hasn't really lived in the real world. We had to explain to him what clickbait was. Now he thinks he's clickbait.
Well, that could be, but that could be one of two things. I sent you that picture of Gorlock. It could be a bad thing too. Clickbait could be something very distasteful, but you just can't take your eyes off. You know those things, the people you see walking like. And my wife slaps you, quit staring, but she shouldn't be out in that. She shouldn't fucking be wearing
they
that.
all look first normally and be like, babe, look at that ass. And he's like, no, I'm not looking at that. It's like a setup. He knows it because he knows.
Katie, that is wrong.
So that's also clickbait. You know what I mean?
If Katie did that to me, I'd be okay. I'm too old.
No, but there's sometimes where I'm like, babe, really look. I mean, I promise I won't be mad. Just look.
All right, I got to ask a question, and if Ashley, if this goes too far, tell me to shut the fuck up. And I'm good. Were you molested by this man?
Absolutely.
Okay. I just wanted I have very intrusive thoughts, and I kind of figured that's where it was at, but I just felt like I needed some closure on that for me to go forward. So that was that.
He was a prolific sexual predator at this point.
Sounds like he was wide open about it and didn't really give a
what
shit.
you're finding out.
Absolutely was.
Yeah.
He went from, you know, the loving soccer dad
Right.
to this sick, twisted individual. So, you know, that just kind of shows you the range of what drugs will do for
Yes.
you and
Yes.
where it'll take you. You know,
Yes.
some people are very, very fucking sick.
Yes.
And you could be this great, loving person. And, you know, I asked my mom, I was like, Mom, was I that drastic? And she's like, the fuck yeah, you were. You weren't touching people and doing weird shit, but I couldn't stand you for longer than 5 seconds because you were just this fucking firecracker
right.
and the loudest one in the room. And, you know, you were always fine, but you just it was everyone else's, you were just exhausting, you know?
Oh, I know a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, the level of what is different, there really isn't any. I mean, you can go from this to this, and it's so extreme.
Right.
And I think you see that probably with
Oh,
all
yeah.
the people that,
Oh, yeah.
you know, you have in here, the extremities of it. I mean,
It is. I mean, the different the different groups that we bring in, not groups, but the different people we bring in, you can definitely see different personality quirks, right? And how some people are very low and some people are just over the top.
You know, and
right?
then when they're out, okay, and if they bounce back from alcoholism or their
Right.
drugs, you know, like, because I did both, you know, but Jack Daniels was what killed me.
me too.
But what I'll do on alcohol, you know, was not good. But what I would do, you know, what people will do on meth is different. You know, same person. And what I don't like is, you know, that wasn't me. The fuck it wasn't. You're the one that chose to do the drug. You're the one that chose to do the action. It was you. Maybe that's not who you wanted to be or not who you could be if you weren't. But that was you. Own that shit.
Yeah.
I think to that point, though, the further I got into my alcoholism, I was never, I mean, I did a lot of cocaine in high school. Luckily, that woman right there that was just high school stuff. But it was pretty addictive for me, but I was able to get off of it pretty easy. My early ages of my alcoholism, I was over the top extravagant when I started drinking. But once the depression and the alcoholism cut in, that's when my isolation started, and I wanted nothing. So that's my point. Is there's two different sides of the disease, right? I mean, my disease, I was just an isolator. I didn't want to be around anybody. I wanted to be away from everything. I didn't want anybody to talk to me, look at me, speak at me, anything. I was completely opposite of what you're going through. But you were methed out too. So
Right.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until later that my alcoholism really kicked in when I tried to stop using meth.
Right.
And I had met this wonderful guy who, you know, I wanted to finally have this great life with, but I didn't know how. I'd never had that.
Oh.
You know, he drinks, but he can hold down a regular 9 to 5 and be completely productive. He owns his home. He works, you know, for the government. I, unfortunately, will start drinking at 8 a.m. with my little fruity drinks and thinking that I'm fine because it's not hard alcohol.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then I'll
It's
get
just
up
coffee.
to get down. And then by, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, when he gets home, I'm drinking one Jack and Coke, which is a half a Yeti cup
Right.
of Jack
Well,
and
yeah.
one Coke.
Come on. I get rid of the Coke, but I'm with you on the Jack. So I water that shit down.
Right. So, I mean, it just depends, really,
Right.
you know. But leading up to that, you know, I had started selling drugs. Man, I really
But
took
you were also 15 and out on your own.
Mhm.
Just
ripping
what
and
were you-
running,
just
staying in and out of
staying where you could
hotels,
stay and-
random places. You know, I would get a place to live, fuck it up real quick, or I was living with a bunch of tweakers, so of course they're going to steal all my shit, or it's just not going to work out. You can't. I firmly believe that when you live with anyone that does drugs, you don't have a safe home.
You don't
No.
stand a chance.
No, and I would, you know, every house I'd go to, I would make it my home, you know, and I would spice it up and redo everything and make it pretty yard, plants. I'd just get all this stuff because I'm making fast money.
And it didn't matter. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. She was out there.
Oh, with no makeup on, hair up on the top of my head,
headlight.
sweating my ass off, fucking
Like a
rearranging the whole yard, ripping branches and
Yeah.
trees out, you know, just dirt all over me, planting a garden.
Ashley, what are you doing? Mucking fudge? Nothing much. What are you talking about? I'm having a good time.
I'm building a whole fucking walkway here in the middle of the night, you know?
Potting soil all over.
No,
Show-
swear to God. I
Oh, I know.
built the biggest
That's
trapeze
just it.
walkway.
If it was me and Larry, we'd be in the garage with the headlight on, working on a car that's never going to fucking run.
Yeah. Oh
Rebuilding
no,
the
but when that
transmission
shit
for the
was done,
third time.
people didn't believe me. I could do
Oh, I bet.
landscaping like no one's business. I mean, I'd take a dirt pit and turn it into this luxurious garden and like gazebo and pool, and it was
funny.
just that's what I did. I would tweak out on things, you know, and I had a million projects going, so nothing ever got done. But
Oh, yeah.
and you know, I hate to glorify it.
But that's because you always give me shit. We joke about it when someone, because like we're doing our stories and people talk about it, usually when they're alcoholics. And I said, well, any drugs involved? Well, you know, and if it's not have them. You know, it's boring.
No, but I really
But I
do
don't-
hate to glorify the
I don't
lifestyle.
want to. I don't want to
because-
glorify it either. I joke about
No,
it, and I get.
and I
feel
give
bad.
you a lot of shit because it's so funny how you get all excited about it. But once again, as we go back through our addictions and we start looking at these things, I had fun at a certain point in my alcoholism. I had fun, right? But when it stopped being fun and became work,
Oh, mine was always work. I was always
It's
in
always-
survival mode. You know, when you're a woman out on the street,
I can't
ripping and
imagine.
running, selling drugs. So I moved to Mendocino County,
Okay.
and I got into the weed business.
Oh, well.
So I started selling hundreds of pounds at any given moment.
Wow.
You know, I was like the go-to person. Like I never had anything less than 100 pounds on me. I knew all the growers in the area. You know, I had arrived, you
Right.
know, that was my, like,
But-
I
but-
was the guy.
But when you're in that position, you got free stuff. You get your stuff is free.
I got everything I needed. I never
Exactly.
paid for drugs.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. The lifestyle is completely insane. I'm walking around with hundreds of millions of dollars of people's money, and they could have killed me at any fucking time
Right,
and robbed me.
right.
You know, I don't. People during COVID, I made more money off of weed than I think I made in a whole year working. I'm
At
talking
a
about.
normal job. Yeah.
Oh, the money was insane, but I would go blow it at the casino every dime. In Ukiah,
Conchetta, where's Conchetta?
I was going to say.
I would blow every fucking dime at the casino or buy clothes and hotel rooms and
Yeah.
just,
living the high life.
well, in Ukiah, it's a shithole.
Right.
Yeah.
There is
Oh, I know.
absolutely nothing to
There's
do
nothing
there.
up there.
Nothing. You know, the only thing there is to do is go to the casino. So
Yeah.
you'd go to the casino, blow someone's money, my money, everyone's money, and then try to make it back the next day, which
Right.
wasn't a problem. But living like that, you know, you put yourself into some really dangerous
Oh, yeah.
situations. I'm pretty sure there's a few. I mean, I had people coming in from New York, all over the states with just thousands and thousands of dollars trying to purchase weed for me.
Wow.
You know, my
Okay.
phone would ring 24 hours a day. I had 2 phones at certain points. And I'm not saying that this was so great because really I look back at it and it was exactly what my real dad did.
That'd be
Okay.
exhausting.
I had fallen into the family business, you know. Now, mind you, my dad had been in and out. We've been in touch a little bit, like, so I'm full bore use now. I'm
Yeah.
using full every day, nonstop. So I find
Meth.
out, yeah,
Okay.
I find out my dad.
Did you smoke pot too?
Oh yeah,
Oh fuck.
yeah, big time. Weed was my first drug. Cigarettes were my first drug.
Oh, tell me the story. How would you get the?
I stole my stepdad's non-filtered cigarettes from the freezer.
Camels?
Right? Camel non-filtered.
Yeah, that baby.
And I would steal my mom's filter because she didn't leave hers out, but she'd leave her cigarette butts, right? And I'm like 10 years old, right? And so I'd steal my dad's non-filters and put her filter on it.
Yeah.
And I would be so sick. I'm talking about I'd be laying on the bed and I would just be nauseous, wanting to die and throw up, but I would eat food and continue to force myself. That's how sick my disease.
That's how I did Copenhagen in 6th grade. Eric Boss, when we do a meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
puked.
was,
I was like,
I was sick. I'm talking about just putrid, nauseous
It's
for hours.
insanity.
And I would
Insanity.
still be sick eating a piece of pizza, forcing myself to smoke because that's what I thought I had to do.
Right.
And that's how
Insanity.
sick my disease
Yeah.
is I was that sick. And I was 10 years old,
Mhm.
forcing myself to smoke.
Wow.
So I developed this smoking habit.
You still smoke?
I don't. I do vape. I'm trying to get rid of that vape. It's the devil.
Yes, it is.
It's my binky. My boyfriend calls it my binky because I walk around with it. I fall asleep with it. It's under my pillow. If it
It's just kind of a
disappears-
habit, though. You don't even think about it. I used to watch my wife before she quit. She would.
Are you
Another-
sure she's quit?
Well, she's not quit. We already had that little time.
Yes.
You got to listen to that one. That's a good one.
Well,
But,
see,
hey,
so
but it's a motherfucker to quit.
I never thought I would stop smoking cigarettes ever.
He's quit tobacco. How long now? A few days.
Yes.
I'm
We're not even
I'm
talking
proud of you,
about-
though.
a few days.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Listen, I'm not going to fucking lie. I am using crutch here and there, but
Pussy.
whatever. You can
What are
say
you-
what you
what are
want,
you
but the
using?
first day, the first day,
She's
asked
like,
my
what?
wife, I'm about ready to fuck. I about
Oh, I
ripped
bet.
this house apart.
First 3 days are.
And when I
bugged
left
up.
here, I stopped and got a can because I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm doing it like that. And I've gotten now where a can has lasted me almost 2 days now.
Okay.
So where I was going
Oh.
through 2 cans a day.
Are you using like Zins?
No, I'm still using Copenhagen, but I was doing 2 cans a day. And I've
Okay,
had the
and so
same can for 2 days.
Chew
right now.
was your.
Oh, I'm bad. When I quit drinking, when I went to Maynard's, I was going through 3 cans a day. I was just
One
was
after
just
the other.
one after the other, nonstop. And I cut it back a lot. And well, we just talked. I have to go in for surgery, and the doctor basically said it's got to. You can't. You got to
He
stop.
has to pass a test.
I have to pass
be
a
able to have
nicotine
the
test.
surgery.
Yeah.
So, and here he is still.
I'll get there. I'm not going to do that cold turkey. I talked to Jason, I call him my Copenhagen sponsor, and he did it. And he said, Larry, I literally almost chewed my cheeks off trying.
Sunflower seeds.
That's what he said. He goes, sunflower seeds, I literally chewed my cheeks off.
I just, wife said, I said that, go out, well.
Put a nicotine patch on and chew some sunflower
I can't
seeds.
have any nicotine.
Oh, that's
the problem.
I just gave it to God. I did steps over it.
You know what? And we're going to talk about this in the next episode because this is all next episode stuff.
More power to you.
I'm trying.
The hardest thing, I think. And I am vaping like I smoke, but that smell.
The cigarette smell, huh? It stinks.
Oh, God. Yeah. I didn't realize how bad I smelled.
Yeah.
And my boyfriend's like, you got to stop smoking. He's like, at least get a vape. And I'm like, I'm never going to vape. What's the point of a vape? You know what I mean? But I didn't want him to like be repulsed by me because here's this guy I met. He's wonderful. And I just wanted to love him. And so I try these vapes and now I'm hooked. But I will say I smell a cigarette now and I want to die. So yeah, that was my first step into addiction. And then weed was in high school. Weed was, I would wake up, take a bong rip and go back to sleep. I would be dreaming of weed in the middle of the night, wake up. And I mean, I was the full blown half ounce a day smoker of weed.
Could you function in high school though? Could you function in school?
Absolutely not. I basically stopped going to high school.
Okay.
I was dating this guy. So my freshman year, I start dating this guy. He's a senior and I'm a freshman, right? And this was a whole new school district. My mom transferred me because she saw I was getting in trouble, right? So
geographical change.
Yeah.
Right. So I go to this school and now, mind you, it's a whole different type of people. It's a little bit more on the ethnic side. It's a whole new district. I don't know anyone. And so I start dating this guy and he's a senior, like I said, and we end up hooking up on New Year's Eve. And Christmas break, we were hooking up. We come back to school after New Year's and he shows this video to the whole school of us hooking up. So everybody calls me porn star Ashley.
You poor thing.
Dude, every man in my life, I will say, until now, has had a huge impact on my self-worth, on everything that shaped me. I never knew what a good, healthy relationship was until recently in my life. And I think that's what kind of shapes you, in a sense, as a woman when you're young, is, you know, when you don't have a father figure to look up to.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
For sure.
You look for it in all the wrong places.
Right.
And, you know, my mom did the same thing. I was just like my mom. She was looking for love in all the wrong places. Yeah. And you don't know who you can trust until you can't. And that's a scary thing.
Yes.
And there's a lot of predators out there. And
it's worse now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's worse now. I scared to death from my grandkids, my granddaughters. I mean, my daughters are old and got two wonderful husbands, but I scared to death of my granddaughters. I just the world that they're growing up in is insane.
It's terrifying. And you never know who or what. You know, I even have problems still today with trust. You know, here's this dad I had for 10 years. I mean, it's going to take someone to really impact me to not go, are you going to flip on me one day?
Right.
Which I'm working through.
Yeah, your boyfriend that you have right now, he's got a big task in front of him.
A huge task.
Yeah.
And he knows that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he's got a lot of damage too.
Okay.
He has a lot of heartbreak, but when we met, you know, it was like, you know, that fairy tale idea when you meet someone and you feel the wind blow in your hair and, you know, and you just both know in that moment that that's what you want. And it was like, and we'd been, ever since the day we met at this random hotel at a pool, we have been together ever since.
That's
funny. And
how long ago was that?
That was 4 years ago.
Okay, so he's seen
it all.
Yeah. You know, and it's fucked up. I put him through some serious shit. You know,
he stayed around for it.
He did. I gave him every opportunity to leave, and he fucked that up a long time ago because he could have bounced.
Now I'm sober, motherfucker. I'm staying.
But you know what? He stuck by me. So he was like finding drugs in his house, and I was like, that's not mine.
Right.
And you know, he'd say, what the fuck? He'd be walking by my car and find a bag of drugs on my seat, and I'd be like, somebody broke in and they stole my change too. It's not mine, you know. And I'm like, I'm like,
they must have dropped their drugs in my car.
Yeah, they're stealing the change in my. But you know what's fucked up is I feel so bad because he just loved me so much. I drove him crazy. You know what I mean? I really saw this side of him that I was afraid of seeing, but I brought out in him, you know? I've had terrible relationships my whole life. Abusive, you know, just toxic. Pretty much I've had my foot broken, black eye, I have a scar, like just terrible relationships. So when I met him and I started fucking with his head and he starts acting all these ways that these previous guys did, I'm like, you're just like the rest of them. But really, it was me.
Yeah.
I was sick. I was gaslighting the fuck out of him. You know, I mean, he just found this wonderful woman that he wants to love. And he was like, who the fuck are you? You know? So he stuck around. When I decided to go to treatment, we had kind of separated. And, you know, I was at my very worst. I have a horrible way of hitting bottom.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, I honestly, I do. I would like to hear that.
So I'm a survivor to the fullest. There was nothing that was going to stop me in life. Every bad,
I pretty much got that.
Every bad bottom I've ever hit, my chin was just rubbed away by pavement, but I never gave up. And he shows up at my house now, mind you, I was losing everything again, right? He had kicked me out. He's like, I can't do this with you anymore. I keep finding drugs in my house. And now, mind you, I'd moved here for him, left everything I knew behind. So I'm living in this shithole trailer out on somebody's property. I was working at a restaurant at the time and they were customers there. And they're like, oh yeah, we have this little trailer you could stay in, right? It's on this big long dirt road in the middle of fucking nowhere. And I'm just wasting away in this place by myself. You know, I'm drinking.
Great place to do it.
I'm drinking heavily.
Key of isolation.
Heavily.
Yeah.
You know, so the night before I called for the first time ever in my life and asked for help. I drank myself to oblivion. I called him, I guess, apparently at around 4 a.m. and I said, can you come over? I don't recall. When he gets there, I am blacked out drunk. I don't think I've ever been that drunk in my life. I wanted to die. I had to be out of this place in 3 weeks. They were kicking me out. I had just got there. I had nowhere left to go. I knew I was going right back to Ukiah to sell drugs and do exactly what I knew how to do best, which was rip and run. And so he comes over and he gets there and there's a bong and drugs and a lighter at the end of the bed. And he gets there and he's like, what the fuck? And it's 4 a.m. You know, this man would just jump and come if I call. And he gets there and I don't know how I got there. I know I obviously called somebody for it. I don't know who the fuck I called. I don't know who this person was that was in my house, but it was sitting there at the foot of the bed and he walks in and he says, are you shitting me?
Right.
You called me over here to see you like this? Like, I'm done with you. Don't call me. Nothing. Leave me the fuck alone for good, right? And I come to and I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck is going on? I called you? Well, I chased him outside and thank God I have this breathalyzer in my car. I blew a .117. I tried to drive and to go after him. Well, he's gone, right? And so I'm back in this shitty little fucking shithole with mice.
Okay, hold on. Excuse me. You had a breathalyzer you had to blow into to start the car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I couldn't follow him.
You'd already had a DUI.
I had a DUI in 2014. Never took care of it. Got pulled over all the time. I've been in and out of jail, God only knows how many times, for driving without a license or on suspended license or just any way you could think of for driving. I never got registration. I just thought that was stupid.
Did you ever pull the little sticker, the little year off someone else's license plate and put on yours?
Once, but I got arrested for that.
Yeah, that'll get you.
Yeah.
How do they know? Done that.
How do they know?
Well, you sounded like experience as you said it.
Yeah. They know if you don't have registration, if you have a sticker or not.
I know.
It's fucked up, this technology.
But if the year is the year, I mean, that's just one less thing they can pull you over for. Because they just glance at it in the same color.
You can only use, I don't know, so many times.
I can't do that.
Right.
I never could
exactly.
do that. I
right.
wish I could.
And I always tried to bank on that. One, get out of free jail card, but every time they're like, all right, Miss Lenhart, you're going to jail. And I'm like, fuck. I didn't know. I let someone borrow my car. You know, that was one thing that I was horrible. I was a huge liar in my disease.
No.
Absolutely.
No way.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
No way.
I was an angel.
And I believed my shit.
Oh, we always do.
I believed it to the fullest. I thought everyone else was crazy. They're doing all this to me.
Yep.
I'm perfect. I do everything for everyone else.
Yeah.
I'm going to get away with murder. You know what I mean? So back to my bottom.
You can't chase him.
I can't chase him.
You can't drive. You can't blow. Can't start the car.
So I'm hungover shit. I'm still drunk, blacked out. I'm throwing up. You know what I mean? And now I'm sitting that next day in this shithole little trailer. Mice traps are going off in the kitchen left and right. And it's like one after the other. And I'm just like, fuck, dude. Like, this is my life.
What is going on?
I just lost everything that I had been working for or trying to have in the last year since I got sick. I finally found this great little piece of a life that I wanted and that I'd always dreamed of having. And now I just lost it for good. I thought I had lost it for good many times, but I knew he was done this time. I knew I was headed right back to nowhere, and that terrified me. I knew I needed fucking help. And so I'm sitting there and I'm holding my alcohol bottle and my bong that I don't know where it came from. Some fucking stranger, right? And I'm like, well, I got one of two choices. I can continue doing this or I can call for help. And I was like, oh, I don't call for help. So I get high. So I get high and I drink some more. And I'm sitting there and the tears started rolling down my face. And I'm looking at myself in the mirror for the first time. And if I think about that face, that'll keep me sober for the rest of my life. Because I had hit so many bottoms. Right. But that desperation of, I mean, I'm 39 years old. I'm 38 years old sitting at myself looking at the mirror going, you fucked it up again. You know what I mean? Like, you just can't.
I got sober at 38.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was a despair. It is an absolute pitiful despair, you know?
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got there.
It's that, as you describe that,
As you
describe that, I can go right back to when I turned around and said, take me to rehab. I just remember that feeling of just absolute
pitiful and incomprehensible
demoralization. Yeah.
And it's just that until you've hit that and you've seen that. Now, I didn't have I wasn't at a bottom where you were at. I was emotionally bottomed, and I think there's a big difference between, well, you were emotionally bottomed too, but you had nothing around you, right? Talked about it. You had nothing, and emotionally.
Financial, emotional, physical. She was bankrupt.
I had just wrecked my car, totaled it. I had nothing left. Yeah. I had absolutely nothing left. And so I pick up that phone.
Who did you call?
I called a friend of mine. His name is Jesse, and he had gotten sober about a year before I did, and he was up in Eureka running this rehab, right? And he had offered it a couple times, and I was like, I'm fine. I could do this on my own. When you think you got this, so I picked up the phone and I called him, and he didn't answer, but he called me right back, and I was like, I couldn't find the words to explain what was going on. I just said, I need help. And he was like, what are you talking about? Like, are you okay? Like, what do you mean you need help? Like, what's going on? And I'm like, I need help. That's all I kept saying to him. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, do I need to come there? Does somebody need to get shot? Like, because, him and I are completely opposites of life. Like, right. He's got like that hard gangster life. And I'm like this square white girl. And he's like, I'll come there right now. Like, what's going on? And I'm like, no, I need to come there. I need to come there. And he's like, okay, well, we can do that. We can do that for you. He's like, it's going to be a process. And I was like, I don't have time for that. Right. Like, if I sit here long enough, I'm going to die. Yeah. Like, and I want to die right now. Like, I would rather die right now than walk back down that road that I've known my whole life again. And so he's like, okay, well, let me see what I can do. I can get you in here Tuesday. And I think it was a Sunday. I was like, that's not good. Like I said, now, like I need to get in my car or get a ride to you now. Like,
I am broken.
And how far were you from him?
He was in Eureka. I was in Oakdale.
That's a long way.
I was in Escalon. I was in Escalon.
That's a deal. That's a poke.
Right. Yeah. So he goes, let me see what I can do. If I have to come get you, I will. But you're going to have to get your Medi-Cal transferred. And I was like, oh, fuck, that's going to be a 3-month long thing. I had just had it transferred from Mendocino County to Stanislaus. And that's a 3-month long Medi-Cal transfer that I was so like, oh, fuck, I'm screwed. So next phone call was to my mom. And that phone call was, Mom, I need help. I'm going to treatment. I need you to come get me.
That was your first time with that phone call to her?
Absolutely.
And that's Mom in Santa Rosa?
Yep. And she starts crying.
I would say Mama had to break.
Me and my mom had been separated for years.
Right.
Because, she couldn't bring herself around me. No. And I avoided her like the black
She had to turn you over. And you couldn't you couldn't see her happiness.
I would show up at Christmas, maybe a couple hours late if I did show up at all. And she knew I was always okay because I was one of those people that was very independent. I always put a roof over my head no matter whether or not it was my car or not. I always made sure that I had what I needed. And so I called her and we both just start bawling and she's like, what can I do?
Right.
I said, well, I have to get out of this house. I'm going to go pick up my last check. And this is where I crashed my car. So I go to pick up my last check and I total my car. Okay. So
how did you must have sobered up enough to get it to turn on.
right.
Yeah.
This is the next day.
Okay.
Because I was so freaking hungover. I
Right.
couldn't even move.
Right.
I hadn't been like drunk like that since high school, if I'd ever been drunk like that at all. And so, so I total my car and now I'm stuck. No way to get my things out of my house. No way to move my stuff. And the cop that comes to the accident, I'm like, yes, I finally got it all taken care of. I got insurance. I got my interlock device. Oh, you have a warrant out of Mendocino County.
You're getting a ride home.
I got a ride home on the bus. They took me to San
Yep.
Joaquin jail,
Yep.
and Mendocino County came and got me the next
Yep.
day in shackles. I took the bus
Right.
back to Mendocino County, and they kept me there. Now, meanwhile, of course, I've been trying to work out how I'm going to get into a rehab. My mom's looking at places. I go to court, and they're like, "We're not letting you out," and I'm like, "I'm going to lose everything. Literally, I've already lost everything, but I'm going to lose everything I own,
Now you're gonna lose your freedom.
and I'm going to lose my freedom. So everything in my house gone." You know what I mean? These people are going to just destroy my stuff, pack it up, throw it away. Who knows? So I'm like, Mom, you have to bail me out. She's like, I'm not bailing your ass out again. No. And I call my boyfriend. I'm like, please, I did everything I was supposed to do this time. And he's like, you didn't do something.
Right.
So everybody's like, no. And now I'm in jail with no phone numbers, no way out. And I'm like, fuck. I'm going, all right. As soon as I accepted what
Acceptance is the key.
that is the answer to all of my
Yes.
problems, because
Atta girl.
when you fight it, it just makes it
Right.
worse. So I finally get up one morning and I'm in jail and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to start doing the program. I'm going to start going to all the classes. It is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. So one of my old business partners who checks the Mendocino County booking log just happened to be checking the booking log. And now he's sober, right? Years later. And he's like, I can't leave her in there. She bailed me out hella times. So he had been owed a favor by the bail bondsman and got me out for $200. Bails me out.
Is that odd or is that God?
No, that is fate at its finest.
Right.
That is my higher power working.
That's what my sponsor always says. When something like that happens, and he'd say, Rob, is that odd or God? It's
Yeah.
God. It's always God.
I got out and I said, what the fuck are you doing checking the booking logs? You're sober. Like, you don't have to worry about your friends in there. And he goes, yeah, I do.
You were there.
I was there. And I
Yeah.
said, good point. But you know what? He got me out of jail, put $20 in my pocket, and shipped me off with my mom. And I sat at my mom's house for a month on my fucking hands. And I was still drinking, but I wasn't using. And I was going crazy. She wouldn't even let me go for a walk around the block. She was not letting me out of her sight.
But she was letting you drink.
Yeah.
Okay.
Her husband drinks, and she only did it because she knew that I would fucking leave.
Right.
If I didn't have something to take the edge off of being at my mom's
Oh,
since
for
15
sure.
years old again, and
Right.
now I'm losing everything,
Right.
I would have fucked. She would
Oh
have.
yeah. She knew.
No way she could have
knew.
controlled me. Yeah.
Yeah. She knew.
So yeah, she did enable a little, but she knew that's what was
She
gonna-
knew what she was doing.
Oh,
Sorry.
absolutely.
Yeah. I truly believe she knew what she was doing. She was protecting you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Because she knew that if she could get me into treatment, she knew I wanted it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that was the hardest month of my life, sitting on my hands waiting for that treatment center to go, okay, we got your bed, you know. So I was supposed to go to Eureka. And my mom was like, hey, do you want me to try something around here? I'm like, sure, try something around here. So she calls one of her girlfriends in recovery, and she's like, hey, well, Athena House it's an all women's program, great program, and I will stand by this to the day I die. That
Located-
program in Santa Rosa, California.
Okay. Give them a
Yep.
shout out there.
Absolutely, Athena House.
They
saved my
used
life.
to. I'm pretty sure they used to. They used to advertise quite a bit on. That's a big treatment center.
It's a huge treatment
Yeah.
center. They are owned by Buckaloo
Yes.
programs.
Yes.
And hands down, it's more of a behavioral program.
Right.
See, my problem is I have a thinking problem, and drugs and alcohol were my solution.
Right.
And my behaviors were so set in stone. And
Top of page 64.
Yep.
I was in such a control.
Did you know that?
I did.
No. Did you know that's what you just stated? That's
What he
right.
said, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
I'm just making sure.
But you know, and it's funny too, because all of these little things that
Uh-huh.
people say that you think are stupid in the
No,
beginning,
they're not.
no, they're absolutely fundamental
Right.
to this program.
Absolutely.
And I truly believe that if it wasn't for that book, the 12 Steps, and my sponsor and Athena House program, I would never have been sober I got there and was like, I'm going to do this my way. And if you don't like it, and they're like, yeah, okay.
How'd that work out for you?
Not well. And there were many times where I said, fuck this, I'm leaving today. And they're like, okay. But you know what's cool? And here's my other God moment. So you remember that girl I told you about that I met that said that my stepdad shot her up?
Uh-huh.
So when I got to treatment, she was the drug counselor at that treatment center.
Wow.
And all those hard days that I had, her name is Christine Campbell, and I will say her full name because that woman saved my life.
Awesome. And she's good with that.
Yeah.
She's sober out loud.
Yeah,
then.
she works
Nice.
at DAC, which is in Santa Rosa. She did work at Athena House, but after I left, she found better opportunities, so she left Athena House. But yeah, that woman is amazing, and if it weren't for her being there,
that's our Chris Lytle.
Yeah, that's our Chris. Yeah, we have that same thing.
A week before I left, they were like, "You're in full relapse mode." You know that? And I'm like, "The fuck I am." I'm like, "What are you guys talking about?" "Oh no, you're completely way up here. Your entitlement is through the roof." And I'm like, "Am I crazy?" I'm still thinking that it's going to be because I had asked to get a ride to work because I'd started working in there. And anyways, make a long story short, yeah, they scared me. They put me on what they call like an LOP. And I'm like, fuck this place. I'm out of here. These bitches are crazy, and I'm a week before leaving. So that's how sick I still am. And
oh my God, our stories are
so,
oh my gosh, that is.
Yeah.
And so they're sitting me down and they're like, okay, I want you to write a paper on entitlement.
Oh my God.
So I start from the beginning and I'm like, well, I felt entitled from the moment when you let me have a visit when no one else was allowed to, when I got special treatment because my mom is clean and sober for 30 years. You let her come before the 4-week thing. And I start writing this paper thinking that I'm going to win this, right? And this girl, Christine, she looks at me and she goes, I would not write that. And I'm like, why? But it's true. If I have to be honest with myself, they set the bar high when they allowed me to have these entitlements. And now they're using them against me. But what I didn't realize is that those things that they allowed were straight gifts because I probably would have left.
Right.
And unfortunately, I had a lot of family integration with this program. The director knew my family very well. Wow. And she'd been friends with my uncle who'd been in recovery for years and years and years. I kind of left out a part. So this uncle was my stepdad's best friend. And when he did all this sick shit, all of my family abandoned me. None of them believed me, right? So about 2 years before I got sober, this uncle comes and visits me and takes me out to dinner. And he looks at me and he says, I have to say I'm sorry that I didn't believe you. And, I was still in my disease. So I'm like, I didn't need your apology then and I don't need it now. But that uncle, when I went to treatment, showed up every weekend for support, gave me his AA book signed, and it was like my family heirloom,
Right.
But he, we all have made huge mistakes and we still will continue to make those mistakes. And I just thought that was so great that out of all of my family, that he was the one that came and said, I'm so sorry to you, but I wasn't sure where I'm going with that.
Well, I mean, that had to be your first lesson in, not step 9. I mean, he came to you and gave you
and owned his shit.
Yeah, he owned his shit to you.
Yeah.
While you're still in recovery.
Well, she wasn't.
No, I wasn't in recovery.
She wasn't in recovery.
But when he came to visit me that first day while I was in recovery, I did break down and I said, you telling me that means more to me than you'll ever know.
Right. Because you understand what was going on.
I understood at that time what he did and how I had shunned him off. It's kind of like when we make our amends.
Right.
We expect everybody to just like take our amends and be like, oh, everything's fine.
Right.
No, it's okay,
I didn't have that.
But yeah, you're not going to have that all the time.
No.
You're going to have those people that are like, I still can't forgive you.
Yeah, you're still a bitch.
You're still a motherfucker, So
get the fuck away from me.
And being able to take those.
Hey, give me my wallet back.
Yeah, right? You remember that
stole
money?
my bag of dope. Didn't help me fucking look for it, you son of a bitch.
Rob's speaking from experience right there. Can you tell that?
I shared it with you though.
How many of those did you have to make amends for?
I told you I bought it.
Couple here and there.
Oh, I just got this from that guy down the street. He's like, we can smoke mine. It's fine. He's like, huh, that's weird. Looks like the same bag.
very generous I am with other people's dope.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Did that heal a little bit of the younger version of you when he apologized for not believing you then?
When he said it to me originally, no. When I finally realized what he was doing, and I was in treatment, and I could
In the
like
process.
think, and I was thinking clearer,
Clearly.
and I was like, oh, that's what he was doing. Like it meant the world to me.
Yeah.
Like I definitely felt like that little girl inside that was just like searching for that exception and that love was finally just like released. Like,
Well, it wasn't necessarily even not just the love of it, was that you wanted them to believe you.
and the closure.
Yes.
Like I just felt like that little girl
Yeah.
broken hurt inside
Right.
that had died years ago. You know what I mean? That had put these 4 walls around her and this shield and this force field and like, you know,
Because nobody believed you.
right.
You had to take care of
Right.
yourself.
You know, my mom came around a little bit and like had like tried to get this detective involved and tried to, you know, figure it out, but it was my word against his. And he ended up dying with, you know, actually, so about 2 weeks before my stepdad died, I'd seen him in the casino. And I hadn't seen him in years, but I was always terrified of him when I saw him, right? And I'm at the Keno machine and I look down over to my left and he's sitting there at the end of the machine. And he says, hey, how's that machine treating you? And I didn't even recognize him, right? And I'm like, fine, thanks, you know. And I keep playing and he gets up and he walks over to me and he's like, how about a hug for my, you know, for my daughter?
I'm sorry, man. I'm just having a hard time even listening to this. What a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Sorry. Come on.
But you know what's fucked up
No,
is
well, finish that story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so,
Sorry. Go
so
ahead.
I look at him and I finally realized who it is. And I'm like, I'm sorry, Dad? Is that what you think you were? You are completely, I let him have it. I said everything I'd ever wanted to say, you know, and he really, truly, whether he wanted to admit it or not, I don't think he truly understood what he did. He's like, what do you mean we both stole that jewelry? And I looked at the girl he was with and I said, you better watch your fucking kids and you should get the fuck away from him. I said, he touches his own daughter. And he's like, what are you talking about, Ash? Like and he had, I don't know if he was just so far gone in his
he
disease.
was still in his
Yeah.
disease for
Oh, yeah.
sure.
But I mean, even
But that
security.
doesn't matter. You know, I mean,
It's-
he's
yeah.
sick in his head, but he was sick in more than one way.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
he was still trying to get something out of you.
Yeah.
Whether
Oh,
it
yeah.
be your reaction
Yeah.
or, you know,
Oh,
maybe
for sure.
to start something with you again or whatever. It's just sick.
I
It's
don't think he
true
truly
sickness.
ever admitted to his own self what he did.
Never.
And I don't think that
You
is
did
something.
now.
But yeah, I
Oh,
let
he
him
had
have
to
it.
answer to somebody.
Well, I let him have it. And,
Good.
you know, and that was 2 weeks before he died. Literally, I had said everything I'd ever wanted to say to him. I said, leave my little sister alone. Don't even go near her. Give her that grace. You feel sorry for anything, feel sorry for her. Just leave us all the fuck alone and know you can't have a hug from me.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck are you?
How early, how far before you got sober did that happen?
Couple years, 3 years.
A couple
A
years?
couple years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were still pretty deep in your addiction at the time, too.
Oh, yeah. But
Yeah.
I was angry.
Oh,
You know,
shit.
I
I,
was-
hope so.
I seen him and I said,
I
the
hope
fuck
so.
you can have a hug. I said,
Yeah.
who the...
Yeah,
So-
come here. Let me hug you with a knife right between the
Right.
jugular.
Dude.
So I left that casino, and I just, you know, of course, that little girl inside me was still
Mm-hmm.
like furious that he was playing that game. Like, how could he not even know? And
Right.
and I always kept all that to myself. You know, I never called my mom and was like, "Oh my God, you're never gonna guess who I saw," because to her it was just another wound reopened, and me, I was pretending like it never happened.
Yeah.
But you tried to talk to her about it how many times before and it never went well. So why would you tell her about this now?
Yeah, it never went the way I wanted it to. And when you go into something with expectations, you're always going to be let down.
Amen, sister.
And
Amen.
you know, what's great is now that I'm sober and I lived, so when I got out of treatment, I lived with my mom for the past year. And we finally have found this amazing bonded friendship and mother-daughter that like, that was the hardest part about leaving there. I was like, I can't live without my mom. I just got her back, you know? And like,
That's awesome.
we are best friends. We call each other every day. We talk every day. But when I got out of treatment and I started living with her, we finally sat down and she told me her side of it and I got to tell her mine. You know, I got to tell her what I felt like, and all these little things would come up randomly about, you know, my point of view on it, her point of view on it. And we broke down and cried a lot and talked about all the things that we hadn't talked about since I left at 15. And I love
That's
her.
cathartic right there. That's
Yeah.
that's healing. Right?
Absolutely.
That is the absolute
Like
most
goosebumps.
best gift, you know. And
Yeah.
she's been my biggest supporter. She never left my side. She showed up when I couldn't even show up for me, you know. And I miss her. That's the hardest part about leaving, is not having her, you know.
But why did you leave?
Because I got to start my life here and be with the person I love.
Right.
And the longer I stayed there, the more it
It's
prolonged.
time. It's time, baby.
Yeah.
It's time to go.
It's time. And my life is ready to begin
Yeah,
for the
go
first
get
time
it.
in my life.
And hold it, because now I'm going to say this. This it comes to my head. I'm sorry, but I got to say it. When I got left with Maynard's, because Dove Ridge is their sober living place above Maynard's. Larry, my big brother Larry, who just got praying for me.
Everybody's a big brother to you, though.
Well, older brother.
Is that because he's so tall?
Yeah.
This guy?
Yeah, just
Fucking midget.
He did wear his boots today.
I wore my boots, so I'm like 5'7.5" with the boots on. 5'7", it's awesome. But I've got
Oh my God! Will
18
you
inch
stop?
guns. Anyway, so for he would come take me every month, 3 months, 6 months, and I was go up to Maynard's to Dove Ridge to the open meeting.
Right.
And for some this woman I'd never seen, I got my year, and I was like, finally got the year. I was like, well, year in one day, and I was walking out, and this lady I'd never seen. She goes, "Oh, young man, you got your first year." Yes, ma'am. She says, "Hold on to your ass."
yeah.
And I walked out. I never could find her again.
Uh-huh.
You know, like, so hold on to your ass.
You know,
It's going to get good.
it is.
Yeah.
It is my life today has. I never. If you would have asked me a year ago what my life would look like right now, I had no idea. I could not have said anywhere near of what my life has become. My family trusts me again. I mean,
Promises,
my mom lets
baby. Come on.
Yes, my mom lets me borrow her car.
But you did the
What?
work too.
I did
Oh,
the
yeah.
work. I have done the work. I went both feet in. I went into treatment knowing that this had to work.
Yep.
This was the only time I was going to do
last door on the block for you.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
I when I do something,
Oh, yeah.
I don't do it in any
Yeah.
type. No, I do
Yeah.
it to the fucking
You-
most.
Yeah.
You don't go half-ass.
No,
At
it's just
all.
this podcast and the whole thing. It's just that we jump in balls deep.
If I
you know?
make up my mind, know this, it's getting done.
Right.
I don't care what hell or high water I
Right.
have to go through to get there, but I'll find the best way, you know. And
And the best motivator for me was when somebody says you can't, and I'm like, watch this,
Yep, watch me.
watch this.
Tell me I can't.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for sure, and your story of because my recovery literally happened the last 6 days of my 28 days in recovery.
Yeah, I
literally-
went for 90. I went for 90
Okay.
days. Yeah.
So you spent a good 86 days of like, fuck you.
No, I wouldn't say that. I had these moments of control.
Okay.
Where I had
Me.
where things weren't
100%.
going the way I wanted them to,
Oh, yeah.
and my old behavior would come out.
That's
where,
Larry.
where I would be full force in 2 feet, give me all the work and all the exercises and all the programs you guys can. I want to know everything there is to know about this because I'm going to master it. Right? At groups, everything. I was first one to attend, first one to be, in the middle.
Yep.
But if you told me that I couldn't go on like my or go out on my little meeting,
Right.
if I couldn't go out on my little meeting, I was going to have something to say about it.
Right.
Or if someone mouthed off to me, I was going to tell you how I felt, and it's a house full of women. I've never
Right.
lived with women in my life.
Oh,
so
God.
that was hard.
Right.
It's tough.
Especially if you got somebody in there that was more of an alpha female than me.
Mm.
Because she'd be all crazy and I'd be like, you ain't going to talk to my sisters like that, And then,
Everybody's peeing on the bushes around there, marking their territories. Jesus, I love it.
but you know what? That got me nowhere.
Pillow fight.
I have absolutely learned how to be a woman of grace. That's old behavior for me. Trying to fight and protect and be that hardcore. I had to.
That was just living.
Yeah.
I was just living.
Survival mode was
Right.
I could say the core of my life from ages 14 and on until the last year of my life. I no longer live in fear. I wake up happy. You know what I mean? I don't wake up swinging. I wake up happy.
Right. And you know where you're going to wake up at.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Yes, I do. I'm just kidding.
I was just saying.
I just had to see if you were going to think about it.
I'm like, you stopped me for a second.
I know. No, I wake up in a wonderful life that I never thought could be possible,
I'm going to say this, and I just interrupted. She's mad at me right now because I interrupted, but I have to say something, and hopefully your boyfriend listens, but God bless him. God bless him for forgiving you.
Absolutely.
Well, that was my question. How did you
amazing.
with him?
So when I went into treatment, he was like not sure if he was going to do it anymore. He knew that I needed it. He was still supporting me as in like, Ash, I love you, but I don't know if I can trust you ever again. Yeah. I don't know if I can move forward with you. I'm not proud to call you my girlfriend. And that was devastating for me, but I got it. You know what I mean? I understood I had hurt him.
How long did it take you to get that though? Were you there before you went into rehab? Were you at that thought process before you went into rehab?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I knew I had fucked up.
Yeah. So you had started owning your shit immediately.
Ish.
Yeah. Okay.
I knew to myself that I had fucked up because the guilt was there.
Right.
I knew I was wrong,
Yep.
And I knew that I was a piece of shit for lying and making him seem crazy. I got, you know what I mean? Like but I didn't want to admit it. I wanted to believe that I was this perfect woman that just didn't know how to get her shit together. But I didn't take any accountability to him. What
point did you admit you're an addict, an alcoholic? Or did you know that way before you even went into rehab?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So that's where our stories are similar too. I knew I was a piece of shit alcoholic.
Yeah.
I knew, right? I just didn't give a fuck.
I didn't know. I always knew that there was more for me in life.
Right. Me too.
But I had accepted that life because I was good at it. I settled for it. And I was like, you know what? Well, fuck it. At a certain point, I was like, this is going to be my life. And I guess I'm just going to have to figure out how to fucking do it better, Right. And I've tried every way to do it better. And it all ended up in the same boat with nothing,
right.
But there was always that, I know I'm better than this.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there's more for me out there. I always knew that there was something bigger. I just had to find a way to get there. And I didn't know what it was, or I didn't know how I was going to get out of it, but I prayed.
You had to be broken.
Oh, I had to break.
You had to be broken.
I had to break.
Human beings, we move at the speed of pain.
I had been broken my whole life, though. You'd think I would have woke up,
But you were never in enough pain.
No, I was just in surviving mode.
Yeah.
And I had so much trauma that I didn't see in my soccer mind. I hated to lose.
Yeah, she was just fighting.
I was the
she was
best.
just fighting.
Pride and ego.
Right.
Pride and
that's
ego.
Where
yes.
I'm almost positive that's why I hung out in mine as long as I did, because I was fighting it. I'm like, I'm going to beat this. 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 I just knew I could do it.
Started with I.
Yeah, I just knew that I could beat it. I mean, that's where I was at.
This is a we program.
Oh, yeah.
Because I myself got me to where I was.
Yes.
And I know that I cannot do this
alone. No.
Since I've moved back here, it's a huge culture shock. I had a huge Sonoma County, God bless them. They have the most amazing, huge recovery. It is just massive. And, the meetings here aren't the same. And I know that it's different and I should accept that and embrace the change. But, it's my first year in recovery, right? So I come here and I'm like, there's no speaker meetings. What am I going to do?
Even better. Yeah. Even better.
Well, what I found is that these little intimate groups are so much more from the heart. They're not by the book. Like, so over there, it's like all book, all by the book. Like there's a code. It's like, you have to go to this meeting. You got to do it like this. But here it's like, oh, fuck.
Fuck that. Find what you need and go get it.
No shit.
Right. And it's so much more intimate. Yeah.
And if you don't find what you need, build it.
Right. We've done it.
Right.
We've done it.
And so it had definitely opened my mind about being closed-minded. Right. Because I'm like, here I am trying to do things my way again.
Oh, for sure.
And as soon as you start expecting something, you're going to be let down. And then I get over here and I'm like, Steph, I don't know what to do. There's no meetings over here. She goes, what are you talking about?
There's all kinds.
She's like, come on, let's go to a meeting.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
I love her.
So did you know Stephanie before?
I did. And you know what's fucking crazy is we both were using secretly and we hung out all the time. We were like best friends, but we never told each other.
Never shared your meth?
Never shared our meth. Never shared our meth stories. I shared what would have been meth stories, but they weren't mine.
They're his.
They were some stranger.
Let me tell you about this. Let me tell you the story about this motherfucker.
As I'm looking in the mirror.
Yeah.
So not, I've never done anything. And so I don't know the signs or the symptoms I think I have. I mean, I've we have been around people, but it's not been that I've been around someone in an active addiction of meth or cocaine or anything like that. So I wouldn't know. But did your mom know? Like in the beginning when you were first starting to dabble, or even with your
of course.
stepdad, do you think that she had an inclination that there was something going on? Or
so here's what I've learned about people in recovery that love someone, right? Denial.
They're hoping for the best.
You want to believe that the people you fall
yes.
in love with and that you love and you've let in after you're healed in yourself and you love yourself again, you want to believe that these people are good. And it will blind you. It will absolutely blind you if you're not careful. You know, my mom had many, you know, he had relapsed a few times but came back. She let him in. You know, she didn't want to break up her happy home.
Sure.
And for the first time, she had like a happy home.
Too.
Stability, right? And I mean, she'd had nothing but shit bags. And I can only relate to this 100%.
My heart breaks for her to even hear that, because
my mom
she
is a
has
freaking
recovery.
warrior. Yeah.
She had recovery, and she just wanted some simplicity in her life to go along with that recovery. And she was, God bless her for staying true to her recovery.
My mom
look
is
what
an
she's
angel.
got out of it.
So she's remarried. And
Hopefully, please tell me it's an amazing man.
I love him.
Good.
I call him dad.
She deserves it.
I call him dad. He's amazing. He's so good to her. She don't cook. She just retired from the D&B. She's like, I don't have to cook, but he cooks great. So it's great.
That's awesome.
Living with both of them has been an amazing gift. When I moved in, he's like, oh, fuck. What am I in for? Because he only knew me and my disease.
Right. For sure.
I mean, their wedding day for hell. I mean, I literally had gotten out of jail that morning, made it at 2 p.m. when I'm supposed to be the photographer of their wedding, barely made it as she's walking down the stairs, and I'm just a shit show. So that's what he expected.
But how'd the pictures turn out?
Great.
Of course they did.
That's something I could never fuck up, you know?
You just do a little bump, good to go. Get your head.
As long as your equipment is working, you're fine.
Yeah.
All right? It doesn't matter how fucked off you are.
Yeah.
As long as you point and shoot in the right area.
That's funny.
A few of them might have been a little crooked or off point, but I just edited them, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, little bump.
So that kind of goes
Little
back
bump.
to my same question about Stephanie. You're hanging around Stephanie. Did you realize that she was?
You know, now that I know, because so I went to treatment, and then when I got out, she went. And I got this voicemail. She's like, hey, I fucked up. I'm not going to be around for a while. And she's like, I relapsed.
She was going to jail for a while. She was going.
She'd been hiding from that for a minute.
Yeah.
She'd been hiding from that for a minute. And that was always in the back of her head. And I think that's what kept her in her toxic situation that she was in.
She was just running.
Yeah. And I think that's what we all do.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
We all run.
We
run, and that's what I was. I was definitely a runner. I ran from anything serious, anything that remotely had any type of not what I wanted.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to what we say sometimes is alcoholic of my type, right? Because I was not there, right? But that doesn't mean when we look at the similarities and not say that the right way.
They say to look for the similarities and not the differences.
Right. So when we look at the similarities inside of your stories and inside of Rob's stories, there's so much that we're alike, but there's certain things. You know, my depression had gotten a hold of me so bad, I was looking for a way to end my life, right? I was looking for the way to make sure she didn't have, to want for anything. You know, I was looking for a way the fuck out, and it hurts her.
Softer way we thought it.
Yeah, it hurts her to even hear that. But I was not where it's just different, right?
Yeah.
So when I hear people explain it, I'm like, no, she was fucked up. But it's not really, we were all in that same position mentally in our thought process and how how we reacted to everything. I wasn't running away from trouble. I was running away from Larry, right? I was running away from me.
Yeah.
I hated me. And I was trying to get as far away from me as possible.
I took care of anyone else I could just to avoid taking care of myself.
Oh, yeah.
I was the mama bear. I would go from trap house to trap house to trap house to take care of everyone else's problems so I didn't have to deal with mine. The wreckage.
Yep. For sure.
Which I'm slowly tackling one thing at a time still, which I'm super proud of. The IRS one is just bothering me. But
fuck them.
We don't like them either.
Sorry.
I swear to God,
I'm about to knock on my door.
They're trying to tell me that I owe them so much money, and I'm like, how?
I never
had a fucking job. You know what I mean? Okay, I gambled with somebody else's money or fake money or money that you don't know about.
I watched it. I promise.
But because I won money at the casino and I didn't claim it, they want to say that I own that total amount of the money that I won. And I'm like, so I have to pay you back all this money and then you'll maybe give me back whatever I don't, like, huh? So yeah, they're trying to say I owe them like $22,000 right now. And I'm like, fuck, how is that even possible? I didn't even work. So how could I have owed you anything?
You weren't filing taxes.
Correct. But you know what? It's not anyone else's fault but my own. If I was doing the right thing,
That's
and
right.
if I was filing my taxes like I should have been, I would not be in this predicament.
That's right.
And taking accountability for all of it, if that's the least of my worries,
You're doing good.
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
You know, I have a driver's license, a roof over my head. I have a wonderful family, a wonderful relationship. I have great friends.
That little sticker on your car is actually yours. You paid for it.
Yeah.
God
I didn't
damn.
steal it from the neighbor down the road.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Can I ask any kids? Do you have any kids?
I cannot have children.
Okay. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
Uh,
You know, I've recently found that being more of a problem for me.
Why-
I have a lot of scar tissue
No, not why can't you, but why is that a problem?
because
She's
you know,
loving life now.
I
mean,
love my life, you know
right.
what I mean? And before I didn't care about my life.
Right.
There's no way I could have taken care of, or who knows, it maybe would have saved me, you know? It would have went one or two
Well,
ways,
but
but why
maybe
take the
not.
gamble,
Yeah.
you know? And
How many other women that you were even in treatment with had the story of they had many kids and those kids didn't save them?
my roommate actually lost all three of her boys. She's 24 years old, lost them to the state for good. She lost all parental rights. She's 24 years old, but she waited too long. So she'll never see her three little boys. It's a closed adoption again.
Wow.
At 24 years old, I can't even imagine what that would be like, but I'm so grateful that I didn't. You know,
Amen.
Yeah. Could you imagine, you know, you can only imagine trying to go through the steps with that over your head.
well,
I mean,
to be honest with you, I didn't think she's working a very good program.
okay.
So it's only a matter of time, I think, for her. And I pray for her. She's so beautiful. She's like she's like that one you want to fix and save, but you can't.
Oh, yeah.
We have many of them.
Right.
You know, well, I wouldn't describe them like, you know, beautiful, but there's a lot of that you want to save, but they're not mine to
You know,
save.
so when I was,
But they
when
have
I was,
to help themselves.
right.
Yeah, they're
and that's
not
one
mine
thing
to save.
my codependency
Mm.
was one of my biggest defects of character.
Right.
Me not trying to save everyone if I can't save myself type thing.
Yep.
I have to focus on me.
Yeah.
I have to put one foot in front of the other. I can't change someone else, just like I couldn't learn my mom's mistakes or my dad's mistakes. I have to actually figure it out for myself. And unfortunately, she will, whether it be right or wrong. And, you know, so since I got out of Athena House, you know, I started taking girls to meetings, being really active in their, you know, recovery. I would go and just be a part, like H&I. I'm huge in H&I.
I love it.
That was my very first commitment. See, over there, they
too.
have big enough meetings where each meeting, they have like a literature rep, H&I representative speaker. Anyways, so that was my first commitment out of treatment at my home group, which was the first meeting I ever went to while I was in treatment. And then I became the secretary of that meeting. And I miss them. They're so great. It's such a great meeting.
So can I ask what meetings, I may be jumping way ahead here, but what meetings have you got to over here?
So everything is so far over here.
What do you mean?
There's a
So-
lot in Oakdale.
Is there?
Uh-huh.
So maybe I'm not seeing them
Where?
on my app or what, but
Have you been to a meeting in Oakdale?
not in Oakdale. No, I've been going over to Modesto. I've been hitting the noon living sober meeting.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Those are good
I
people.
thought you were
over
saying
there.
Northside. I was about to shit
No,
myself.
me, both.
No, I've heard of Northside. Okay, that's what I figured. I
You heard
honestly
Primary Purpose?
no, but I've heard of it.
That's our home group.
Okay.
Yeah. Great people over there.
Yeah.
That is that's a book study,
Okay.
right?
Well, it's not a book study. I mean,
Well, it
every
is.
topic comes from the big book.
But yeah,
Right.
every topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every
So-
meeting comes, they'll pick out stuff for the first 164, and that's what you speak on.
Yeah. So I've
The
been going over to
solution.
living sober every day at noon.
That's good.
okay.
And you know, it's kind of great because now I'm going into that meeting and everybody's like, "Hey, hi."
Right.
I love that feeling.
Right.
It's such a
the
such
best.
a comfort of
it's
home.
the best.
But
Right.
you know, it's different because you're not just going into the meeting, you know, being a bystander. You're actually a
Participate.
participant.
Yes.
And I think that's so great. And I was so afraid. It's so funny. My fears are my disease because I was so afraid that there weren't speaker meetings and I wasn't going to be in control of how my recovery went and you know, and what am I going to do? And then I went over to these meetings and I'm like, this is such a blessing. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and everybody's so well spoken and they know the big book and they know they work.
She's heard Matt speak, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Matt from Living Sober. You know what's the fun thing though is because I travel a lot and when I go to outside meetings, because you heard this when we were at the national convention. I heard a lady speak about this, that when you go to different meetings all throughout the country, they're all held differently, right? The format's different. Everything is just so different, and then people have such a hard time. Like I go to one down in El Centro, and I love going to this one. It's almost like being home. There's another one down in San Diego that I go to that cracks me up because it is just a bunch of beach bums in there, and it's just chaos.
No structure.
It's chaos, and it's freaking funny because I think half of them are still drunk, but they're trying.
As long as they're showing up.
They're just trying. I don't know if they're there for the AA or for the coffee. I'm not for sure
whatever gets
they're
you there,
for.
baby.
But they all know the book and they're all whatever. So, I mean, that's just the structures is just so different. I was in the one in downtown Houston, Texas, and it was by far one of my favorite meetings of all times because they were hardcore.
So when I got out of treatment in August, well, shortly after I got out in February, but in August, I went to this NA convention in Arizona.
Okay.
I went to visit a family friend who I used to rip and run with and sober for 13 years now. So I went to go visit him, and we went to this NA convention at Arkna 38, and I had my first real, like, this is what it is. This is what works. There was 20 freaking thousand people there.
Right.
And
That's awesome.
they did the birthday countdown, and they started at 59 years, and they went down to the girl who was still suffering, and she had the nerve to stand up in front of 20,000 people and say, "I'm high today and I need help." And
God,
everybody just surrounded her,
and
they're standing on their chairs, and the whole crowd. It was like I just started crying because that one person had the courage to step up and ask for help, and I was like, "This is what it's
in front of all those people."
In front of all those people, and
That
women
she had the courage to be there.
Yeah, and you could see her throughout the days, just standing on the wall, struggling. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But these women surrounded her, and they loved her, and they, welcomed her, and she just broke down, and I broke down, and everybody's going, just throwing their shirts around in the air, and everybody's screaming, and it was
Stop it, Rob. I know where your thoughts were going.
It was like enough of your hair to stand up on your arm to go, this is why.
See, they didn't do the countdown,
which pisses me off because
they didn't do the countdown at the AA.
The person who has the least amount of sobriety always gets a big book signed.
That's what happened with me.
Yeah, which is awesome. I don't know why they didn't do it.
I don't know. It was weird.
I
mean, the international convention.
It's in Canada. That's why.
It's 80-some thousand people saying the Serenity Prayer, and
it's so powerful.
Oh my gosh, I still have it recorded somewhere.
Oh, I have mine. I watch it on purpose just to be able to
It's incredible.
Relive it. Yeah. It's like the first time I went skydiving, I relive it all the time. I'll play the video.
That's what started my hip. My sister Tammy, her 40th birthday. And I was just getting sober. I was right before I got sober. She wanted to go because our parents have been dead forever. She goes, on my 40th birthday, we're going skydiving. All right, whatever. So everybody's coming. When you come in, we're supposed to lift your feet up and you slide on your ass because you got the guy on your back because you can't do it by yourself. And this prick bounces me on the ground. I mean, I was hurting for. I think that's what started. The hip.
Because I walked into mine.
They wouldn't let me walk in. I had to slide, and I called this guy everything but a white man. Oh, dude, I was so fucking mad.
No, we did.
I'll never do that again.
I went on my 33rd birthday, and it was like
how high were you?
12,000 feet.
No, how high were you?
I
12,000 feet.
Good answer.
No, I was definitely. You know what though? I was at that point in my addiction. I think I wasn't high anymore. I was just sustaining.
Okay,
I was trying to.
Right,
because trying to maintain.
Was there higher peaks, and then were you?
Well, the drugs went from real fucking good to what is this? You got high, real high, and then you got what the fuck am I doing? I'm tired. You know.
But you were just trying to maintain some sort of feeling.
Well, yeah. Well, you become. It's just a daily.
Yeah, you just what you do.
Daily grind.
Right, and it's not something that you get higher. Of course, if I woke up,
you're going to be sick if you don't.
I wouldn't get sick because
I just crash out and sleep.
Fentanyl wasn't my drug, and I think that's where people mostly get sick. You get more just tired and lethargic when you don't have meth after you use meth for, you know what I mean? You feel like you want to be sick because you're like, how am I going to get up and move around?
But your dopamine, you're just done.
Yeah.
You're just crashed. You got nothing.
Yeah. I think fentanyl, you feel more afraid of getting that nauseous sick.
Well, that's the opioids. I mean, you get the Jimmy legs and it's terrible.
See, I've never tried that. Never That's one of my yets.
The opioids.
Yeah, I was not a downer person.
Yeah, I'm not.
I
You know what? And Katie gets real nervous because of the amount of pain that I'm going through. Like, I don't have a sober day without a tremendous amount of pain, right? And I'm still fighting a lot of stuff. So Katie gets real nervous when it comes to my pain medications. But I talk to Rob about it a lot. I talk to her about it. My doctors are very aware of, my past and where I'm at and that kind of stuff. And they very much monitor where it's at. I self-monitor myself a lot.
Sometimes too much.
Yes, I get very anal about it. But, Katie still has concerns, right?
Absolutely.
By all rights,
And
she should.
You should have concerns.
I do.
Knowing,
I do, and that's what I try to explain.
But you don't walk around in pain when you don't fucking have to.
No,
Right.
and you're right about that. But there's certain times, I don't even know why we went down that.
The bad part is, this with medical, they're so cautious on pain medications and how many you can get and, who you can get it from. And you have to have these pain contracts and everything else. So there's a lot that you have to be cautious of.
I've signed them.
So you have to be smart about how you are taking the medication.
I get,
too. So you have to be on track. Okay, but let's go back though. So how did you reconcile? Well, because it's not finished.
I know.
That's my
Finish
point.
it.
So how did you reconcile with your boyfriend? How did it come about?
So, he started going to the little visiting classes. You have to do 4 for 4 weeks, or 1 for 4 weeks, every 4 weeks for 4 weeks or whatever, and then you can come visit. Well, there was this lady that was like the person that kind of instructed those little classes, and they were through Zoom. And her name was Viviana. And she came to see me before Ryan's first class, and she basically wanted to know what it was about Ryan that wanted me to keep him around, right? And I think I broke down enough, and I said, I love him, and I messed up, and I just want him to know, but he has no idea about addiction. He had no idea what he was dealing with. He thought that if you went to NA or AA meetings,
you're cured.
No, you thought you were a drug addict because
Right.
you're hanging out with addicts. You are who you hang out with. And he had only had one experience with this program. And it was when he was a kid, and the person that he took him there sold drugs to people at the meetings. And so in his mind, he's like, the fuck you are going to an AA meeting? Like, what do you mean? So he had no idea, right? Well, after the first visit with Viviana, and I think my mom and him talking, because they've become really close, I think that he's...
This gave me chills too. I love it.
I think that he's become more aware of how or what I need, when before he didn't know what I needed. And he didn't realize how important it was for me to have that structure. And I don't think that he really had any clue on what to think about it, because his only experience with it was through this bad example. And so to him, it was like, yeah, fuck right. I'm not going to let you go and hang out with these people. Like, he's a protector.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so to him, it wasn't like something that he thought highly of. And so I'm not sure if it was just him doing the work on himself that allowed him to see what I need too. But I think he just saw the work I was willing to do for us. I think that played a huge role. He still breaks down and cries. We'll be sitting on the couch, and he looks over and he goes, I just want you to know how much all the hard work you did really showed me. I'm so proud of you.
God bless him.
Like he
but you were investing in yourself, but also in him, because you wanted that relationship.
Right.
So he's seen that.
Well, I had to put myself first for the first time. I had to allow myself to leave him alone, because I'm crazy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to leave you, because then if I leave you, I think you're going to be gone for good. And then if I'm not around to remind you, but he was in love with me from the day he saw me. And like I said earlier, I've given that man every reason to run for the hills, but he saw in me what I couldn't see.
Attaboy.
And he saw in me what he sees now every day from the beginning. And I just refused to see what he saw, and to me, I was just this failure. You're all perfectly well put together. You have a house, you work for the government, your friends are all in ATF and this and that. They're, big people. And I'm over here, this fuck up who keeps going to jail. And I was just ashamed of myself. And he saw
potential.
Yeah.
The potential.
Yeah. And he saw in me what I had been.
He saw through the shit.
Yeah.
He definitely saw through the shit.
He was willing to put the work in because he wanted you to be that better person too. So
halfway through treatment, I had told my mom, I said, if I get out of here, because, we did a lot of toxic things to each other, which we've both made our amends for. I drove him crazy enough to do things that he knows were wrong. And so we've both come to this. I mean, we spent this last year apart, and I'd come every Thursday, leave Saturday, go back to work, do my program, my 3 meetings a week, my aftercare. I was full forced into this program over there. I graduated Athena House. Like I said, it was an extensive program. It's a 26-week aftercare program as well, after the 90 days. So it's almost a year. But I was not going to quit. You know what I mean? I was going to show myself and to my family and to him that I was going to be sober for a year before I even decided on moving back here.
Super smart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, because, he'd said to me, he's like, oh, yeah, you be clean for 2 weeks, but you go fuck up again. It kind of obsolete. He's like, be sober for a year. I'm like, challenge accepted.
Here, hold my beer.
Or my bag. I don't care. Hold it.
What's funny, though, is I went into treatment thinking that I was like just a drug addict. And I could drink when I got out.
Yeah, that's very common.
Good thing you got that figured out before you left.
Oh, yeah.
But it's common.
Oh, no.
It's very common.
Because the alcohol wasn't really my drug of choice. You know what I mean? Like, I can drink, but it's only a matter of time if I drink that I will use.
Yep.
And maybe it'll be a month, a year, maybe I won't.
I'm right with you.
But I'm not willing to take that chance and find out. Like, I am not willing to go, I like to gamble, but I'm not willing enough to gamble that.
Yeah, these promises, as they start the promises just keep rolling and keep rolling and keep rolling. And, I had something happen last night that just literally, as this guy was speaking to me last night, I'm like, I'm one drink away from missing all this. I mean, this guy literally talking about me up on the stage, and he wasn't saying my name, anything else, but we knew who he was.
Direct visual
on Larry. It was pretty clear on who he was talking about. And I'm like, I was one drink away from missing this. I mean, it's just weird. Just that we just have to continually run that through our heads and continually tell ourselves that. And it's like,
well, just as alcoholism and drug addiction is progressive,
yes,
so is sobriety.
Yes.
And it gets better and better. I mean, and you're going to go through cancer.
Yep.
You're going to go through things like the longer you stay sober, your life's going to happen.
Right.
But it gets better.
Yep.
And better because our depth and our relationship with God get deeper.
And that's one of those things, like I said, and this actually is leading into some great topics that I'm going to go into here in the next episode. It is we call it, one of the things, and we'll talk about, is being spiritually orphaned. Those ones that they just start pulling away from what got them there, right? They stop filling the gap, and that's
like what I just shared about it that Saturday meeting. One of our brothers went back out.
Yep.
Again.
And it's just because they stop
doing
what we know to do, right? You know what? Actually, and I appreciate you saying it work, but to me, it's no longer work. To me, it's just like taking another breath, right? I know the things I have to do, right? And I'm going to continue to do those things. Yeah. I'm going to do them every day. It's not work. It's not. To me, it's breathing.
It's called the work. But
no, I get it.
Enjoy it. I
get
enjoy
it. I love it. But one of the things I think we always talk about, words matter, right? Words matter a lot. So if we have somebody that's listening, right? If we have somebody that's listening, and they're like, why are these guys talking about how hard it is? Listen, man.
It's simple, but it's not easy.
It isn't easy at all. It is work. Because, I still find myself driving in traffic, and I got to shut that voice. I'm like, I could just have a drink. What the fuck? I have to tell myself to shut up.
I get it.
Out loud. It is work.
I'm right with you.
And I can honestly say that coming back around here, now I was working full time, very involved in the program over there. And now I'm in this whole other environment. Change is good. I'm embracing it. That's something I'm learning how to do. But I find that those voices are coming back.
How about the dreams?
I haven't had any dreams
yet.
Good. Don't wish that evil upon me.
No. I sorry.
It's a big deal.
I haven't had a dream like that in a long time. I haven't really dreamed at all in a long time.
I've been sober almost 15 years. I've only had one.
I'm going to tell you.
Because we talked about it on the podcast. I've had one drinking dream. I've had a lot of dope dreams.
Yeah.
And I'm always chasing it, or I got a bag on me, and I'm just looking for a place to do it, and it never happens.
I have had one of those dreams where I was using, and what's crazy is I don't have the desire to use my drug of choice at all. I don't have any desire to use meth, but I have had the desire to drink.
No, me neither. I don't have that neither one.
I mean, I'm not going to go drink, but I have had that thought of like, oh, that little fruity neon freaking drink, that pineapple drink looks real good right now.
I don't.
And it's that quick one and done of like,
right.
Yeah, that's the
okay,
thought.
yeah, it looks good, but you know what happens if
No,
you do.
it's the rerun. It's the rerun.
Playing that tape out.
No,
you
they're
know?
playing that tape. I
She'll
say
get
that
down the
all
red
the time.
dress and she'll see turn around. Shit. Honey, stop it.
Rob
Sorry.
Dawn.
Don't cut
Rob
that
Dawn.
out. Don't cut that out. That's funny.
Yeah, that is, and I say that all the time. We replay that tape in our head, and because
But
I
before
can
we
tell you right
couldn't.
now, no, I know, but people say, how do you still talk about alcohol the way you talk about it? Listen, man, I say this all the time. An old fashioned is probably one of the most prettiest, elegant drinks I've ever seen in my life. I love an old fashioned smoke. In fact, I can smell it and look at it, but I know damn good and well if I pick that thing up, my world is coming to an
Right.
end.
I don't have a desire, but I will
Yes.
say that in summertime,
Yes.
going to the river, watching
yeah.
people having a good I'm like, oh, like 4th of July this year was my ultimate test.
Right?
Family came, we go floating down the river, and I'm sober, mom's sober, but everyone else is drinking what we call Skippy, right? And it's like this really good lemonade, and lemonade is my thing. I don't know what it is. I'm absolutely in love with these lemonade drinks. But everybody's drinking it, and by the end of the day, I'm going, you know what? Everybody's shit-faced, and I'm not.
Right.
And this feels so. I got to be the sober driver.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have desire. I have
A thought every now and again.
absolutely.
It's a thought.
It's a thought.
I'm
it's
like, oh,
the
these
second
motherfuckers
thought.
are
Yeah.
back there drinking, you know. And I'm
It's
like,
the second, as
just building
Pat
a
says.
resentment.
As
It's
Pat
not- it's
says,
not the
it's
obsession,
not
it's
the
the
first thought.
Yeah.
Pat always says it's not the first thought that's wrong. It's the second thought that's wrong,
Mm-hmm.
right? If your first thought is, man, that looks good, and your second thought is, I think I'll just try one, that's wrong.
right.
If the first thought is, man, that looks good, but fuck that. No, I know
that's
where
good.
that's
Right.
My
right.
second thought is normally like, yeah, but I get to be present. I get to be the sober driver
Right.
for the first time in my life. I don't have to be fucked up on 4th of July where I'm coherent. And we had an amazing 4th
Right.
of July. My family still talks about it, you know? But before I would have been so shit-faced, I would have been like, I'm out of here. Bye.
But
you
we know, but like her and I, like Ashley and I, we know that first drink is. If we have a drink, I know.
Eventually I'll
Bag is coming.
Yep.
Yep.
Because I'm going
Or
to have
that
too
or
much
this.
one night and I'm going to get a little bit too buzzed and I'm not going to like it. And I'm going to think I need to sober up and I'm going to be right back at
Or I'm
it.
gonna say, look how far I've gone. Fuck it.
Right.
You know, and yeah. And
I can just do it one time.
But I remember the pitiful and of both times when because I failed a drug test at work. That's where the meth had to stop, and that walk of shame. I had to go home and face my wife, who didn't know, and then 6 years later, 5 years later, beating yourself up through Jack Daniels, and then that shame and pity and pissing, just pitiful on the floor, crying like snot, ugly. Yeah, I
I've
remember
had
that.
a few of those.
I remember that.
I've had a lot of
won't,
those.
I won't go back there. I don't have no desire. I mean,
I enjoy my life
a drink
too
never
much.
looks good.
No.
A bag of dope never even sound good. I just like to joke about it, but it's not.
And
I love this. I love this.
And that's
more
what
than
I-
anything.
like I said, sitting there last night at that Christmas party, everybody's drinking, having a good time. I'm sitting there, as miserable as I physically feel, I'm still enjoying talking, and it's
And I
just.
tried to get my wife loaded
just-
last night. She wouldn't take a drink.
I got
tried
mine.
for 26 years.
Mine
to
You're
get
did.
like, I
drunk.
want to live vicariously through you. Go ahead.
No,
have a
I
drink.
want to take advantage.
Oh.
Get drunk.
My wife got back to the hotel last night. She goes, I haven't been this buzzed in a long time. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Let's go. That's what I'm talking about.
So I have a question. Did I answer? Well, I have two questions. Did I answer your question about how did we
About
overcome?
Ryan.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. I just
And then I have
mean,
another question
it was
because
a slow process for you guys to come back to each other, but you did, and that's the point.
absolutely. And I actually told him this morning. I said, "Do you want to come?" I was like, "It might be."
I'd have loved it.
It
Oh,
might
yeah.
be a
We'd
little
have got
good.
him.
Yeah.
Might have been a good little spin on how it is to be in a relationship. So
Right.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
How is it that because you don't have recovery or anything in your background, you've never been an addict at all?
She's
How is it being that with someone in addiction? Like, how do you cope with? I mean, I see that you obviously go to meetings and stuff with him, and you're supportive. How is that for you?
I mean, it's different. I think what Rob's wife, Bonnie, is also different than me. So even for your boyfriend, it's probably different for him. I try and support him in any way. Monday, I know that where there's going to be, if he's home, he's going to be in Oakdale on Monday nights. And if he's home on Saturday mornings, especially now, he's going to be at that Saturday morning meeting because
That's
it's
fun,
at
yeah.
the right time for him.
Yeah.
So yes, totally supportive. If he wants to go to the open meeting at Primary Purpose that I can go to on Friday, I'll go with them. If I don't have something else there, I am supportive of that. He wanted to go to Canada for the convention. Absolutely wanted him to go. So, this came about 2 parts, I mean, was I excited about investing in all of this? No. Does it take a lot of our time? It does. But you know what? He gained so much from it, and he's met so many awesome people. I mean, the stories that, I haven't sat in a lot of them. I've listened to all of the podcasts, helped him edit. You got to cut that out there. We haven't finished your story. That's why I wanted to get, where you're at and how it came about. I think those things are important, where you have to finish the story so we have an understanding of really where you're at and how you got there.
Yeah.
But we I have to support this, but I think it's made me a better person. I have a better 100%. Understanding
absolutely
of his sobriety, of what Rob's gone through, what Bonnie's gone through, some of these other wives. I have a sisterhood in a sense with these wives as well. So, am I grateful? Every day. I'm grateful. Do I know that it takes work? It takes work. And sometimes there's ebb and flows even in our relationship that we have to figure out. And it's, I don't know. I was drinking last night, and it's not something, I mean, we have alcohol in the house. It's not that big of a deal, but I don't drink often. And when we've been in other situations, it's not like Larry is crawling out of his skin. It's just an awkward feeling for him. It's almost like, you don't know what you're doing, or where do I put my hands, or how do I handle this? Because it's just, that extension, that beer or that whiskey or whatever else, was that also part of your persona. Yeah. And so I feel in those situations, like last night when we were at that party, he was kind of like, he was fine, but I think that maybe he was feeling different.
But that's still you feeling that.
It is. Yeah. And I think it's me, and I'm always wanting to make sure that he's okay. You okay? You need something? What do you need?
Eventually that'll go away.
Do you think that that's your fear of like him maybe like possibly relapsing, being in that type of environment?
I don't worry about that. I think that I don't want him to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I don't want people to look at him like, oh, poor Larry, he's an alcoholic. It's not, it's not poor Larry.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a success story at this point. I mean, yeah, does he work on it every day? Every day he does, but I mean, I'm so proud of him. I'm proud of this platform. We just got the Spotify numbers back. He was just sharing with Rob and Bonnie and I. And you know what? Yeah, their numbers were great. And how many hours that they were listened to over this past year.
Pretty cool.
And really, if you look at it from January to now, you guys were 4 months into it? You were 4 months into your journey here. So we didn't have some of the big stories that we had.
Yeah.
We've had some major ones.
And the way we've done this, the way we've conducted it is grown up. We've grown as well.
Yeah. This one, this is going to be, this will be the second, actually, you'll be the last one of 2025. The topic that we're getting ready to do will be the last one of 2025. So it is, we had, I don't know, without actually we'll maybe talk about it on the next one, because I think it will be, but yeah, the having people like you, Ashley, to come in and tell this story. And what was the best part is when Katie, 50, 51 and 52 was our 1 year for the podcast. And Rob and I had always said, I want our kid, his kids don't ever remember him drinking.
Yeah.
They
were very young. My kids, I was in when they were in their high schools, I was very deep into my alcoholism, and I was literally just alcohol. And I'd hurt and done some things, and to my kids, and it was bad, right? And so 50 was my youngest daughter. She was on here. 51 was my oldest daughter, and 52 was my wife.
That was the wives.
The wives telling their stories. I think. And once she got that out and she was able to speak that, and she fought that for the
I didn't want to do it.
She was struggling.
I was cracking on her all year. Come on, Katie.
Yeah, she was struggling.
And I said, nope.
Yeah, she was struggling.
And I pretty much, especially of course they went to their core circle, and those were the first,
Right.
10,
Right.
12 people and podcasts in which they did besides their podcasts. So, everybody was encouraging, and they all felt like they got something out of it. My cousin came on here and she had a great one.
She's not even alcoholic.
And
Yeah,
she's
it was
not.
awesome,
And it was her dad was an alcoholic, and so I know that for her it was cathartic for her to do it as well.
Yeah.
And it was, I think, a hesitation for her because she had to think it over and talk to her family as well about it. But what I got out of it, it was peace. There's still some things that it doesn't like hurt, but it turns things up, and I just don't like it. We just talked about this. For me, some of his horrific things, alcohol wise.
Yeah.
We went to a birthday party for his work friend, and they had rented a charter bus, and we left from Sacramento and we went to San Francisco to a Giants game, but it was the whole day of drinking and, Jello shots on the bus. And then we went to a restaurant and we ate, and there was drinking there. And then we get to the game and there's more drinking, and we're at the nosebleed seats in the very top, and Larry's just ripped.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm going to go down. And I was like, okay. Well, he seemed okay at that point, and he really wasn't. And he comes back up and he's falling up the stairs. And then
It's embarrassing.
it
Yeah.
Just to hear it.
and on the way out, he's falling down the stairs and I'm trying to catch him. And it was so much on me, and I was so angry at him. And then we get back in the bus and everybody's drinking, and there he's drinking again. So
Puke and rally, baby.
it was just, it's
That's
all
where
moments
where
like
powdered
that.
accelerates come in. I might,
You know what? And I'm honestly, I am
Number-
so glad my thought process didn't go to that.
Yeah.
I never even thought about it. It would have been a whole other ride for me. Yeah, because I never even.
Baby,
But you know what? I
I'm a
did it in
I'm
high
a problem
school.
solver. I'm a problem solver.
You're an idiot. Is what
I'm
you
so
are.
thankful at this point, that one, he got treatment, and that there wasn't anything else major. There was no DUIs. There was no.
I have a fistful
he
yet.
didn't- He
Yeah.
hadn't. He hadn't wrecked a car. He wasn't cheating on me. I mean, there was all of those.
That you know of.
It's not even funny. It's not even
She
funny.
just got done saying.
I'm kidding.
There's just, those parts of his story, I can't resonate with some of the other people or
Yeah.
the atrocities that they've been through. But, I'm grateful for his sobriety, but I'm thankful that he has this platform, that he's got Rob. And I have said this again, and I'll keep saying this, his core group of men that are around him, it's just, I wish that for everyone.
Mhm.
I do.
And here's an important piece too, is that, I try to explain this to my boyfriend all the time. He's like, sometimes he'll feel like he wasn't enough for
Oh,
me
God.
to change,
Yeah.
right? And I have to tell him, I'm like, it has nothing to do with you.
Yep.
Like, I wanted to give you all of what I could. And I loved you more than you'll ever know.
Yeah.
But I didn't love myself. And I think that's a huge part of most relationships, where you have this one part that's, using in their active addiction, and the other part that's like, why am I not enough to be better for? Or, what can I do to save you or change you? But there's nothing that anyone can do.
No.
And it's nothing personal. I tell him all the time, I'm like, I absolutely wanted to give you all of me, but I didn't know how to love me. So I couldn't let you, no matter how much you gave me love and showed me this better life, love me, because I didn't even know what love was. I didn't know how to let you in. I was terrified of you hurting me.
So here's another part, and it's probably going to make me cry. But for you, I hope that you get to the level of what I have now, because Larry loves me more and he loves me harder today than he did 5 years ago, than he did probably when we first got together.
Absolutely
And
true.
he's so grateful. So I think my hope for you is that you can get there, that when you can love yourself that much too, and that you can be grateful and thankful and love him that much
I do.
too.
Like I said, this past year has not been easy, being apart from each other, trying to figure myself out and trying to, do all the work that it takes to find that peace, which, that's the biggest thing I've taken from this program is I finally feel that whole.
Oh,
I feel like the me before all the trauma, whoever that little girl was, I finally feel like her, but an adult now. Like I don't carry the burdens. You know, when I went into treatment, I wrote my little autobiography and I said, you know, I'm so sick of carrying around this baggage of a story. I'm so sick of explaining my trauma to people. When I'm done writing this autobiography, which was a requirement in order to phase, I'm going to burn it and I'm going to start writing a new story. So I burnt it, right? And I was telling you this when I first got here, is I'm finding it hard to like share at meetings and tell my story because I'm so tired of carrying around that story that like I'm trying to write a new one.
Right.
And like I said, there's this peace within me that I never thought imaginable. Like even when I'm in my own head or feeling crazy, like I know now what to do.
Serenity.
And it's so, yes, it is so peaceful. And I don't feel anything but whole anymore.
I love how you
being comfortable in your own skin finally. I don't have to wear a mask for anybody.
Yeah.
And I won't.
And
this is me.
It goes what Katie was saying, you know, when I learned finally how to love myself before anything else, the amount of love that I feel for other, you know, for her especially is incredible, right? Because it almost like about a year 4, year 5, right around in there when I finally started to, because everybody's heard me say this a million times, I could not forgive myself for such a very long time, right? That living amends that I had to give myself took forever to get to. And once that started to release, the further and further I got away from that piece of shit that I was, the more that living amends that I was giving myself, the more peace I was giving myself, the more I stopped taking myself so seriously, the less of that old man and the more of the love that came out. And the more I just fell deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper in love with my wife, in return with my kids and my grandkids. And it's just like, then the gratitude, you know, there'd be some days I'll just be driving down the road and the gratitude just overwhelming.
Same.
Just overwhelms me and I can't help it. And I just start texting all the ones I love. I just texted this numbnut the other day about how much I love him. And I just get overwhelmed by how blessed I am for the men and the women that I have in my life, that I you know, there's nothing different that I had before. It really wasn't, because if I'd have ran into Rob in a store, we probably would have been bestest friends.
Yeah.
But I'm so grateful for it now, because now I can appreciate it where I just couldn't appreciate it before.
See, and I'm a little different for Ryan. I could have had a picture of my kids in the rearview mirror. You know, I was not going to stop drinking.
No, I wasn't either. No.
And it's not that I didn't love my family.
No.
And it's not that I didn't love myself.
Right.
I just was selfish. I love myself more than them.
Yes.
There's no other way to say it.
No, 100% right.
You know, I loved myself, and my needs I put before everybody else. But so by my
actions, do you think
actions,
that's more ego?
It's more just selfish. My needs are going to get met first.
Yeah.
And then and then we justify, rationalize, and minimize them.
Yeah.
So when I say I started loving myself more,
yeah,
but that's a great point that you say that, right? Because that's a different kind of love. I'm appreciating myself and the man I am way more now. Before I was loving myself to tell everybody else to go fuck themselves. Fuck you. I need this. Right? This is for me.
It's a self-destructive
right.
love, but it is. It still is.
Yes.
The love I have for myself today is more of like that nurturing, setting boundaries woman that can like achieve things without feeling no worth. The love that I carry for myself is I can allow myself to have healthy relationships.
Boundaries, good boundaries.
You know what I mean? And so that kind of love for myself I've never had. I would be willing to disrespect myself at any given moment just to get my needs met. Mm-hmm. Or I would allow someone to disrespect me just to get my needs met. Whether it was always something I needed.
Right.
But now I know that I can give myself those things that I longed and looked for in other people, like men. You know?
Have you found that you've had to cut people out of your life even now? Not necessarily people that were in your life prior to you, you know, going through your program and everything else, but have you come across someone that you're like, this person's not good?
My brother. And, you know, that's really sad for me because me and my brother, we were like this. We went to the Valley of the Moon group home together. We were with each other through everything.
Through that tragedy.
Through everything. And we've always been really close. And unfortunately right now he's in denial of the kind of life he's living. He thinks that he's just doing everything great because you have a job and you put a roof over your head.
Yeah.
But you got 2 little boys that see
that.
you, you know what I mean? And it's not just
That's
about
it.
being present.
No.
It's about being involved.
Yep.
Yes.
You can't just go hide out in the garage and expect to be a good dad.
No.
You know, and
That's me. I was an absentee father.
and for
And
me,
husband.
he has thought that I'm no longer fun due to me being, you know, because we were party buddies. But you know, no, I think I've just separated myself from him, not because I don't care for him or I can't be around him. It's that I can't be around somebody that doesn't see themselves. And it's very toxic to hear somebody deny who they are and not be able to be like, look, that you're fucked. I'm not there to do that. And I know that I will try to
Right.
be that. And I'm not going to play that whole high and mighty, I'm sober now and listen to me. He'll figure it out when he's ready. But for me right now, his toxic behavior is something that I can't subject myself to because I used to be in that toxic
But there's growth
way of
in
thinking.
that too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, I've had to change my playpen and my playmates. Absolutely. I've had friends
I like how you said that.
for years that would go to war for me. People that have had my back when no one else would. But they love me enough to know that I'm doing well now. And I love them enough to stay away. Now, who knows, 20 years from if you have friendships with people that you care about, that you know, have so much loyalty for, if they love you enough, they'll stay away if they're fucking up. And if they aren't, then they'll be around. But you know what I mean? Your friendship will never die.
No,
But
at a couple occasions, I've had 2 Jasons come back into my life that I got to sponsor and help with that were a part of that life. Amazing.
Yeah.
You know, so God gave me that gift.
But I know that tomorrow if I pick up that phone and I'm like, I'm in trouble, they would be right there.
Yep.
Sure.
You know what I mean? They can be my friends from a distance and they love me enough to do that. Because good for me. You know, that's how they look at it. They're like, you know, I'm not quite there yet, but fuck yeah, girl, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, but just like you knew who to call when you needed help,
They'll know who to call.
they're going to know who to call.
Right.
And
Yeah, well, you
keep
know what's
setting that
crazy
example
is
for
I've
them.
had like 4 family members and friends call me since, and I've gotten one of them into Athena House who I had got a job afterwards. She's doing really well. I have a cousin who was, I mean, he was going to die. He kept drinking himself to death, literally. He went into treatment, called me for help. I've gotten many phone calls from family and friends that have
It's fun, isn't it?
It's not fun. It's a great feeling.
Well, I guess, that's probably better. I see it. It's a joy.
It's a joy.
It is.
It's a
It's
joy.
a gift.
It's a gift.
Oh my gosh.
Because,
a
you know,
gift.
before they would have called me and been like, hey, I need this or I need
Right.
that. But now they're like, cousin, I need help. And
Right.
or, you know, hey, Ash, I've been living vicariously through your Facebook and I'm seeing how good you're doing. And you make it seem so amazing,
Right.
this life you're living. What do I do to get there? Well, let me tell you,
Right.
you know, let me show you what I did. And you don't have to take my word for it. But if 90 days for the rest of your life, you can always go back to the
We'll
suffering.
refund your misery.
It'll refund your dope and booze will refund your misery.
Everything. I mean, you can
100%.
always go back.
Right.
Yeah.
But why not try something new?
Right.
What's 90? If I can give something 90 days for the rest of my fucking life, fuck, I can do it.
Yep.
And I can do that. You know what I mean? Because what if it worked?
Right.
That what if it works factor.
You know, that goes back to is there really heaven and hell? I don't know, but I could tell you one thing. I'm gonna say there's a heaven because I sure the fuck don't want to go to hell.
No.
You know, it's that
I
same thing.
got to put myself through enough of that here.
Right.
I have to
I'm
say,
good.
I think addiction is part of that hell. I think that's
Oh,
the
yeah.
devil at work.
Yeah.
I truly do. Because
So
that
funny.
devil has a hold of you. You know what I mean?
And again, and I said this, I was talking to one of the young ladies we have been helping her. She's went and had a talk with her daughter.
Mm.
And I was talking to her today. And I said, you know, and there is a devil, but I don't need him. I can do bad all by myself.
shit.
I can't, you know,
No shit.
I'm good.
No
So
shit.
I've done that.
I say awesome. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. You gonna stick around for a little bit, or do you got to go?
I got a little bit of time.
Okay. We are going to come back and do a topic with you because I mean, what's so funny is the topic that I've brought, I really wanted to go over. It's literally just surrounds a lot of what we've just been talking about. And I'm kind of excited to dig into this one. So let's get on out of here. What are you looking at? Fuckstick over there?
A guy's not going to be able to meet me to do step work. So I'm going to.
What?
Thank you for listening to the Recovery
Who is
Unfiltered
that, baby?
podcast. We appreciate you being here today. If you'd like to reach out to us, please email us at recoveryunfilteredpodcast.com. We will do our best to answer all of your emails.